A channel lights the calm relay. Stories unfold in the softest sound. In the night watch, we're tightly bound. A cozy vibe whispers through the stream, like drifting slow inside a dream. Conversations linger late and free. The night watch is the place to be. Hang out here beneath the glow, where time moves gently, hearts all flow. Secrets shared in a soothing tone. The night watch feels like home. A laugh, a thought, a quiet tale. The night breathes slow, we set our sail. Through every chat and every laugh, we weave a stream, a timeless path. Stay while the stars are bright, each word a spark that paints the night. Connection deep, it soars and sings. In this space, the heart takes wings. Hang out here beneath the glow, where time moves gently, hearts all flow. Secrets shared in a soothing tone. The night watch feels like home. Hang out here beneath the glow, where time moves gently, hearts all flow. Secrets shared in a soothing tone. The night watch feels like home.
Hello, everybody.
That's
Hello?
one Mello asked the song.
Yeah, I'm sleeping now. Yeah, put me to sleep.
It's supposed to be. It's the evening, right? We're winding down. Right?
I don't mind mellow. I love it, but it is very mellow.
You don't want me to wind down any faster than I am. So
I'm pretty wound down too. I did change the oil and threw some spark plugs in the car and trimmed the yard and did all my yard work. So I'm all caught up and doing all the stuff, getting ready for the protest to make sure the car was ready and everything. So, took care of that. And while I was at it, I figured, well, got the vehicles all moved out of the way, pulled my truck out of the way, and I had a bunch of my trumpet vines all growing over the fence. They were growing right up on my truck. They grow like a foot a day. And so yeah, I did all my yard work, and man, I was whooped. I was hot. I was sweaty. Purple invited me on her stream earlier, and their stream, and there was just no way. I was exhausted. It's like working out in that heat is tough. But yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go. So say I got the car ready, and mostly I just got to pack, and I got my sign ready.
nice. I like it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Some folks said it should have little S's, and just so everybody knows, the kit I got didn't come with little S's, so it's big S's. Okay, so, but There it is.
People
I
are
think
kind of
it's-
picky.
I'll be doing this.
It perfectly expresses what's wrong with young Earth creationism. It just doesn't educate.
Yeah, I was trying to think concise, because you want to be able, somebody driving by to actually be able to read it, right? So I'm thinking, okay, what's real concise? And that's as concise as I could make it. And then, yes, and then I used Ken's favorite rainbow colors. I got a rainbow letter sticker kit. So it is what it is. The colors are what they are. It's what came in the pack. Some folks were saying it should be a little S, this and I was like, look, it's a sign, okay? And
Yeah, you don't need to be a grammar Nazi at a protest.
yeah, I mean, I understand I didn't want to look like an idiot with my sign, but for what it is, yeah, having a little S, I'm not buying another whole set of letters just to get a little S. I'm sorry. It's good enough. And somebody did say about the apostrophe too. I did check the grammar. You can use the apostrophe in that. So I'm good enough. And it turned out pretty good. I like it. So sign's ready. And speaking of, I see Joe in the chat. For those of you that don't know what the hell we're talking about, the ARC protest is this weekend. And so why don't we run the ad here? And make sure you check your headphones because it comes in kind of loud. All right, here we go. Oh, wait a minute, I got to pull it up on the thing here. Hold on. Getting ahead of myself. All right, pull this up here. Okay, ARC Encounter Protest. Here we go. Okay, yeah, this is coming up this weekend. Couple days when I'm ready to hit the road, so we'll fuel up and we'll be hopefully stopping along the way to see a Bigfoot statue too. There's a Bigfoot statue on the way, so I thought we could pull off, check that out. And it's about maybe an hour and a half or something into the ride, so it'll be a good time, stop for a minute anyways, right? And get a picture of the Bigfoot statue. So I'm looking forward to that too. And then we're going to Kentucky for the ARC protest. And if you hadn't heard yet, get ready. Here we go. And there we go. And I know Joe's put out a list of the speakers, and it looks like Ember might make it. So Ember might be there too. I heard Purple's making the drive. I was on Carrizo's stream earlier. He covers a bunch of Hoven stuff over there. He said he's going to make a dive over there. I was talking to Seth earlier, who we've had on the channel before. Seth used to work at the ARC. And Seth is going to try to be there too. So, all kinds of folks. I know I see Apostate Sisters. I know Nancy's talking about maybe she's going to be there. And hello, Patty and Nancy. Tilting Windmill is in the house. Hello. Deviant Outcast. Hello. Titan Uranus. Always good to see you. Ryan's here. And, of course, Joe is in the house. And let's see, we got Katie here, too, and Jackie. Good to see everybody. And, yeah, I did fix the toast, Tilting Windmill. We took a vote last week, and folks liked the older version. It won out just barely. Just barely. 45 to 55. So I switched it back. So we've got the old toast. Majority has spoken. So good to see everybody. And yeah, if you haven't heard, ARC Protest is this Sunday in Kentucky. And it's a free event. If you can make it, stop by. There's going to be a bunch of speakers there. Joe's put out a speakers list. I think he's got 10 people on the list. Bunch of great folks going to be speaking there. Of course, you know, nothing's set in stone. Maybe one person can't make it or whatever. But I know I've spoken to Godless Engineer and Godless Granny. Both said they're heading there. Godless Engineer is going to go to the Creation Museum, I guess, on Saturday, the day before. So if anybody's interested in that, you can get a hold of Godless Engineer. He's on Facebook and everything if you're trying to find him, whatever, or let me know. I'll get a hold of him for you because I know where he's at. Jess, too, has information on it. She was spreading the word. So, yeah, all that's going on. So, yeah, if you want to go see the Creation Museum on Saturday, I understand it's like $60 to get in. You know, it's up to you. I guess GE and KC, his better half, are going. So give them a shout if you're interested in that.
But if you get blood, you can get a free ticket to the Creation Museum.
There you go. You know,
so there you go. Just cost you a couple of quarts of blood
plus parking. Yeah, but so I plan on driving down Saturday. I won't be there to do anything like that. I wasn't really interested in going, but if folks want to go see it, you know, I've seen enough videos. I pretty much know what's in there. So, yeah, but I'm check-in times at 3:00. Joe said the B&B's similar check-in time or everything. So everybody's going to be blowing into town. That's coming to town Saturday afternoon, it looks like. And I think I'm at the same hotel with a bunch of the folks too and everything. So that'll be cool too. There's also going to be before parties, after parties. Joe's hosting a breakfast. Joe's having, it's either Joe or Chris, Joe or Jim's house, one or the other. They're going to be having board games the night before and everything, so everybody can hang out, be entertained, and they'll be making up signs and all that good stuff. So yeah, all that's going to be going on. And yours truly is heading down there too. So looking forward to meeting everybody. I think that's going to be the best part. Not only do we get to speak our minds and express our First Amendment and, you know, let Ken Ham know gently and in a nice, polite, peaceful protest way that we don't like your nonsense at all. So that's the message. There's a lot of reasons Ken Ham, with the tax breaks he gets, pushing the pseudoscience, which is a big issue for me ever since I first heard of Ken Ham. And, of course, Ken Ham is a big, well, he's a bigot, all right? He says things about people that, you know, you think a Christian would be better than, you know? So a lot of issues not to like them and their organization. And if you'd like to express yourself, make yourself a sign and stop by and wave it, okay? It's going to be a couple hours. I think Joe said something like 11 to 2. And then there's going to be, after events and everything, too, where people will be hanging out. Ember's hoping to get pictures of everybody in a big group picture and all that, if Ember can make it. So, yeah, if you get wind of that, make sure you all duck over for that group picture. I understand Ember's got a dash and dine, or dine and dash, so to speak. Ember's going to be there, take pictures, and then blow back out of town. So working within that's why it was up in the air if Ember was going to make it or not. But if so, other than that, yeah, there's going to be lots of people with their phones and taking pictures. There's a videographer, I guess. Chris Mallard's going to try and do something live, and I'm sure some of the other folks are. You're going to have a whole bunch of YouTubers there. So, I checked my phone. I did a test to go live. I checked my coverage in the area. My phone says, yep, you're good down there. So hopefully I'll be able to come on and all that good stuff. Right. All right. And speaking of, the man, Joe, taking on this big responsibility. I know it's been a lot of work and Joe's been feeling it. And hey, Joe, thank you for all you've done, man. If nobody's said it, thank you very much. Okay. I know it's a lot of hard work, and we all appreciate all the hard work, as well as Jess and everybody else that's been involved. But I know Joe took this on, and it's a lot of work. And not only that, but it's Joe's birthday. So you know what? Around here, when we hear it's your birthday, we're going to celebrate your birthday, right? So, Joe, this is for you. Let's see. Here we go.
We rise. A smile like yours makes the dark days bright. Kentucky's treasure, you're our guiding light. A toast to your kindness, your laughter, your cheer, to the moments you made so wonderfully clear. Through every sunrise, every season anew. Joe, you're a legend. Kentucky's gift is you. Happy birthday, Joe. You're the star of the show. Kentucky's lucky to have you, Raise a glass to the sky, let the good times flow. Here's to many more years and a world to bestow. I have no world to bestow.
Happy birthday, Joe. May you have many more. And you're most welcome. Much appreciate your friendship and all the good laughs and good times we've had together. Joe's a lot of fun to hang out with. A lot of great stories, a lot of great laughs, and all this on top of doing this protest thing and everything. Salute, Joe. All right. And hello, Maya. Hello. And Halsey. Hello.
Got whole bunches of people.
I know a bunch of people are dropping in. I saw Pixie. Yeah, there's Pixie. Hello, Pixie. Good to see you. And yeah, around here, yeah, if I hear it's your birthday, we like to celebrate it because, you know, it's a milestone. It really is. I mean, not everybody gets to have one this year, you know.
One step closer.
Yeah, you know. So, as you know, some of you know, I've got the Grim Reaper on my desk here, and it has a lighted middle finger behind it because until I have to get drug off by the Reaper. Right now, I just flip it off because I lost my parents and my brother, and it's just me, and it's my place in the queue. Not that I'm next or anything. Obviously, you know, there's lots of people in the world, but just in that, you know, my family. When your parents are gone and your only sibling is gone, it's only you, right? It's a realization. So
That sucks.
Yeah.
yeah.
One small step for man, one giant step for the Grim Reaper.
And
I love birthdays.
so for right now, I plan to live forever, and so far so good. Right? All right. And yeah, Joe and I appreciate some good metal music, and so tried to throw a little metal there at Joe, and we also get kind of silly around here too, and since it's going to be the ARC protest this week, I'm going to milk it one more time.
Just sit right back and you'll hear the tale of a righteous float that started out in ancient times upon a magic zoo boat. The rain began to pour like mad, God's judgment didn't stall. If not for Noah's floating crate, there'd be no life at all. No life at all. No life at all. If Noah and his ancient beard, his wife just rolled her eyes. They boarded raptors, stegosaurs too, all trained to sit and stay. 2 T-Rexes in bunk bed stalls, what could go wrong, we say? 3 sons with wives who taught the dinos how to harmonize. Who taught the dinos how to harmonize? There's skaters, frogs, and woolly mammoths, zebras sharing beds, triceratops and kangaroos stacked 10 high on their heads. The ark was built with cubic math and doors that sealed with prayer. You ask about sanitation, don't go there. Just don't go there. Just don't go there. So come aboard this sacred ship where science hits a wall. With creatures from all continents, pre-flood we had them all. The timeline's tight, the logic light, the rain began to float. And now you're on a bumpy ride aboard the magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. Unicorns dashed to catch the ark, but tripped on fairy tales. They stopped to charm the woodland elves and slipped through magic veils. Their horns aglow, they missed the boat, no place for their parade. Now stuck in myths and bedtime dreams where fantasy should stay. Where fantasy should stay. But what about old Sasquatch? Did Bigfoot make the trip? Was he too hairy, tall, or shy to board that wooden ship?
Gotta know.
He maybe hid behind the trees or snuck in with the apes, or rode the flood out on a log. Or rode the flood out on a log. Don't fall for tales of magic boats or creatures 2 by 2. Get smart, ask questions, that's the best thing you can do. Education shines the light that clears the myths away. So keep your mind wide open and learn what's true today. Learn what's true today. Learn what's true today. Hey,
there was Skipper Noah at the wheel, and White Supreme with nerves of steel. 3 sons with zeros sailing flare, their wives who brought salon great hair. 2 rhinos juggling on the deck, and Bigfoot hiding near the wreck. Here on the Magic Zoo Boat, here on the Magic Zoo Boat, here on the Magic Zoo Boat.
I wonder if Bigfoot had to stow away, or if they let him on.
I've put the bug in the ear to people to ask Ken Hovind if Bigfoot was on Noah's Ark.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh,
They
and
believe there's dinosaurs in Africa, so they probably believe big Bigfoots in Oregon.
he does. He's a Ron Wyatt fan and a L.A. Marzulli fan. He repeats both of them. And speaking of the Hawaiian shirt guy, I was watching Carisu, I think. Chris. I was watching Chris, and I'm pretty sure his name's Chris. And he said that, or he was playing a video where Hawaiian shirt guy is going to go to Ohio this weekend and pick up a giant crab. Somebody's got a big horseshoe crab in their yard or something.
Yeah.
Made out of fiberglass. And Hovind wants it for his, he wants it to, I don't know. He's going to bring in all the people to see the big plastic crab, I guess. So,
and the cardboard dinosaurs.
Yeah, he was threatening to show up at the protest, but if he's going to be hauling a crab, I don't think he's going to be there. So, that's the update on the Hawaiian shirt guy. Hello, Aunt Jer. How you doing? Good to see you. Majestic Beck, good to see you. Hello, Justin. And somebody said I had Katie. I had 2 siblings. I'm the only one standing as well, and pissed off the rest of the family. No God, and I vote wrong. It's like I said, it was my little brother too, and you just expect, I don't know, to go before your little brother, right? I mean, so, but he drank too much, and so he didn't make it. And 29. I was 29 for a lot of years too. It was a good bunch of years. It really was. And so with that, Magic Zoo Boat time. So I had to do it. And we're gonna go right into it here with one of my favorite ding dongs. And that's Stuart of Stuart and Cliff Kenichi, Kunuki, Kanaki, Waki, however he says their last name.
Connecty.
And that's, I don't know.
I always want to say Gesundheit whenever they pronounce it.
It's too many vowels, not enough, or too many consonants, not enough vowels, I think. So Stuart wants to know why atheists are so angry. And it's like, I've got the feeling I know why, Stuart, because you annoy people, Because
the traffic is so annoying. That's why I'm angry.
These street preachers.
Traffic and everybody's just going too slow, or they pass on the right, just drive me crazy, and that's why I'm angry.
That too. Yeah, and driving in Kentucky, I'm gonna do a lot of driving, and just I don't like driving like I used to. So this is this is gonna be a good haul for me. I haven't been on the road in a while.
Be careful of the deer and the moose, because
I went to Kentucky before for when I was a technician. I used to run around Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan. I've been all over, and been there, done that. And anymore, it's like, oh man. But Mrs. Desk is going to keep me company, so we should have a nice little ride, talking and stopping and seeing the Bigfoot on the way and everything. So, I'm not angry though until I get into traffic. Then I get angry.
I'm never going to drive again. I hit a deer last week, and my brother hit a moose 2 days later.
Gee whiz.
My little brother hit a moose just to one up me because I hit a 100-pound deer. He had to hit a 1,200-pound moose.
Wow.
What an asshole!
Is he okay though?
He's okay. He had to brush glass off himself because it hit the windshield and totaled his huge. He had a gigantic pickup and it totaled that. It's totaled it.
It can be replaced. So long as you walk away, that's a.
Yeah, you walked away. Well, the moose didn't walk away. The moose
didn't walk away.
No, he died. Yeah, he died.
All right, so Stuart Connectedly, whatever, wants to know why atheists are angry.
Well, then we start to debate, and immediately out of the gate, they're so angry. Why are you angry, bro? This God you don't believe in, you're so angry at. You don't believe he exists. Who gets angry at something that you don't believe exists?
No,
I don't.
We're angry at you idiot, not God.
Well,
And who's he talking about? I love it when they speak in generalities. I want to know the name of this guy. I want to know the what he said and what he did. I don't need vague generalities. From basically that means you're a bigot because you paint a whole group with a broad brush.
Yeah, yeah. I had heard about this Bigfoot before, and I was like, "Hey, that's kind of on the way," and it's it looks like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes off the highway. So I figured, since I'm already there, I should see it, right? I could go see the big crab Hoven's going to buy too if I knew exactly where it's at. 'Cause I think I'm driving by there too.
So this guy probably imagines that atheists are running around shaking their fist at the heavens.
Well,
I hate you, God. It's like, what is he?
Yeah.
Does he really think we think about God? No, we don't. Until you guys open your mouths. That's the only time we think about it.
Yeah, him and his dad are what they call open air street preachers or whatever. They annoy people. Yeah. Okay. You are annoying people. People are out there trying to have their drink or their lunch or whatever, and here you come. And often they got their little loudspeaker. Yeah, he's got a microphone on, so he's probably got a speaker running. And you're annoying people.
What is his name? I can't quite make it out.
It's Stuart.
But what is that channel there? Yeah.
Oh, the channel? I don't know. This was on Sesta Kriza.
Sesta. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know if he's associated with it or not. I don't know. I just saw the short, so sometimes the short isn't always associated with the channel because some people just steal other people's stuff and don't do anything with it. And at least make a comment or something because just posting other people's stuff's kind of a weenie move. But okay, Stuart, what else you got?
Angry at this figure that they don't believe exists.
No, Stuart, we've covered this before. That's a meso or misotheist. M-I-S-O theist. Somebody that believes in God but is mad at God. An atheist doesn't believe in God, so an atheist isn't mad at God.
And you have to get to the bottom of why are you so angry? And is it truly just an intellectual reason that you don't believe in God? So that proves the point that it's an emotional issue, usually connected to pride. Oftentimes, if they're honest enough, it'll be for sexual reasons. I want to live my own promiscuous.
Oh,
what? Sexual. So so his imagination just went to. That's where it went. That's where these Christians go. Yep.
Yeah, that's. I have asked many times, what do you think I'm doing?
Yeah.
Now I am. I am married, so what the missus and I do is fine by the Bible and all that stuff. So I'm good there.
Atheists want to have an orgy, and then we shake our fists at the sky and say, "Damn you, God! I just want to have an orgy. I just want to be free."
And then who's getting busted?
Yeah. in motels.
Right. Almost daily you hear about these Christian leaders, and the guy that was at CPAC, he just walks up and grabs people, and sure, that's all I'm thinking about. I think you got some projection going on there, Stuart. Yep. That's what I think.
Promiscuous kind of lifestyle, and I know the Bible talks about not doing so, but if I'm honest, I'm going to do so I'm not going to believe in God.
Yeah.
If you clicked on this video, you probably did.
Oh, there's that idiot right there.
Oh, yeah. He's in a sauna. That's where he was when he said that the Big Bang doesn't make any sense because water can't come from dust. This guy is so dumb.
What is this? I mean,
did he go to did he drop out in 3rd grade or maybe 1st grade?
I don't know, but this is another dude that really annoys me that can't comb his hair. I mean, gosh. I mean, if you're gonna, spike it or do something, just something. Come on, man. Something. Do something with your hair. Doing nothing with your hair is not something. I'm sorry. It just bugs me. So, no, Matt Powell, I don't think had a friend in the world. We can listen to what he's got to say. But as far as Stuart goes, atheists are not mad at your God. When we do get emotional, it's because of you're annoying us in public like Stuart and his dad do. That's what most of their videos are. They're out in the public annoying people, okay? And who are they annoying? Usually like college kids. Well, when I was young and full of it, I was loud and obnoxious back, okay? Expect it, okay? Now, if, I ran into you on the street, I would just shut you down with some of my, what I think are more solid arguments, like, your religion is silly and you're not going to convince me of a magic zoo boat, right? But people that are angry at God, that believe in God, there's a word for that, Stuart, and it's a miso or a mesotheist. So learn that word and quit telling atheists they're mad at something they don't believe in, because it's just as ridiculous as us being mad at Santa Claus because I didn't get one, a little red wagon last year like I asked for, right? So you want to hear what Matt's got to say? We might as well. It already came.
Let's listen to this guy.
I don't remember what it is, but I have it for a reason, I guess.
Admitting defeat.
Oh, okay. Hey, Intrepid Chimp, hello. Good to see you. Top Dog, hello, Top Dog. I thought I saw somebody else in here. But hello, everybody. A lot of folks stopping through. All the best folks stopping through. Good to see everybody.
Did so because you were watching another video of somebody attacking. If you clicked on this video, you probably did so because you were watching another video of somebody attacking my work and my channel.
Really? Your work?
Yeah, Matt. Just about everybody covers your nonsense. I can't. All the big YouTubers that I come to mind have probably all covered you. Yeah.
It's more like it's not really attack. It's correcting your obvious stupidity.
And for those that don't know, he was real tight with Hawaiian Shirt Guy. He actually lived there for a while, but then he moved back to Michigan.
What the story is there.
Something happened there. So
it kind of reminds me of Trump and Musk. Kind of the same thing. It happened just as quickly.
Well, the thing is, he brought his children down there, obviously, and letting your children run around at that place is really dangerous thing to do.
I think Mrs. Matt Powell didn't like the atmosphere very much, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, they were best buddies. They did a couple streams together, and then poof, he was gone. That was the end of that. So, but I don't think anybody likes Matt but his dad, because that's where he learned all this nonsense from, is his father, just like Ken Ham did.
And I do want to say welcome. Hope you enjoy the videos here if you do decide to watch them. But one of the big things that I've noticed is that it's mostly atheists who attack my work on YouTube.
Yeah.
Probably because you make videos that say things like, atheists caught admitting defeat after debating me. And
it could be. It could be.
Just, maybe, dummy. Of course, when you put the atheist in the title, come on. It's Patrick Peace we were covering the other day, too. Oh, atheists make all these comments. Really, when you're calling us cockroaches and then you're getting comments? That's funny how that works out, isn't it?
What the heck?
They do not like the message that I'm spreading. And so I've wondered to myself, should I...
The message you're spreading. Well, let's see. You're a grade A. You're a grade A #1 bigot. First of all,
and he's stupid.
He's right up there with Pastor Anderson and I think he even hung out with that crowd, and along with Hawaiian Shirt Guy and the rest of them. Yeah, they say awful things about the LGBTQ community, and Matt, we don't like you. How about that? So why don't you go away? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's incorrect. He is stupid, and he's very unkind.
Yeah. And he's full of it because he's got to tell just like Donnie Deals does. The more he gets full of it, the redder his face gets. I'm one of those people that looks for tells. There are tells, right? And folks that play cards know, people act a certain way when they got a good hand and when they don't, And the more obnoxious he gets, the redder his face gets because he's fair-skinned. And, that's his tell that he's so full of it, his face is turning red. And he pushes the pseudoscience. He's another one that, he calls atheist names. He calls all kind of people names. He's a grade A #1 jerk. So, Matt, and probably why we're telling you that you're a jerk right now for the same reason everybody else is.
Should I respond? Should I say something back? Should I make it known that I've seen some of their content and give my 2 cents on it?
You've been doing it for years, so yes.
If you could provide a reasoned response, that would be awesome.
Don't.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
Don't hold your breath. Yeah, Matt Powell's one of the bottom feeders.
It's a matter of aptitude more than anything.
And he's obnoxious. He's rude. He's arrogant. There's nothing. He has no redeeming qualities, none whatsoever. And he can't comb his hair. On top of it all, look at that hair. I'm sorry. I mean, come on.
He's got a thing lately for Jehovah's Witnesses too. He's been going after them.
Oh, I'm sure. They're like I say. He hangs around with that hate preacher crowd, and usually I don't cover him because of that fact. But he's admitting defeat after debating me. Okay, who's this?
And then I realized that people have already done this work for me. It's the very atheists that have actually been attacking me for years. And a lot of this is actually leaked footage of conversations they didn't want me to know about. They didn't really want anybody to know about it.
Oh, that's right.
One of the main conversations where they...
This is where he cuts some clips out of stuff, I think.
Okay.
Were saying to watch out and not debate Matt Powell anymore was a conversation that they had taken down immediately after they had it. It was like a little live stream that they did, and they tried to hide it. Well, thankfully, somebody had already caught the live stream live, scared of our arguments. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoy this video.
It's because he's a bigot. That's why. Oh, my God. That's why people are saying not to give him any publicity, because he's just such a damn bigot.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And he thinks it's because he's going to defeat them. It's like, oh, my God. With his second grade science education. Like, oh, my goodness. This guy's a piece
So
of shit.
yeah, so I skipped it a little bit up to here because he's just blah 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 about him. Okay, so this looks like it's Viced Rhino. I don't know who the other person is, but okay.
It's Ethan. He runs the Your Friendly Neighborhood Atheist channel.
Okay, Ethan, I guess. Okay.
And you will know him from Matt Powell's latest movie, The Atheist Religion, which I'm sure you've seen it too. What are your thoughts? Did he actually...
I mean, I don't get why he didn't want to talk to a more qualified person. I mean, I guess I do now because he did a very good job of making me look stupid.
And I have commenters all...
Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? He threw some questions at him probably that he didn't have answers to, because that's what creationists do. They pull somebody off the street and they say, explain all of cosmology to me, and it's like, I don't know, see, these people don't have any answers. But when they talk to if they would talk to a scientist that would have good answers, yeah, it would shut them down. And that's why they don't do it.
the time, well, I hate that he chose you because he made you look so stupid and he could have done so much better with somebody else. And
he did a very good job of making me look stupid.
And another thing that watching this movie has shown me is that I did lose the debate.
There are areas in this video where, even if it had full context, I don't look the brightest.
Okay. So he found somebody he talked to and they were saying, I wasn't prepared or whatever. It's like, okay. So what, Matt? Okay. So you've defeated all of atheism or something? I don't get it. You got this clip you keep repeating and okay.
And there are things that, to give Matthew just a little bit of credit here, there are a few things he could have actually totally taken out of context and just snip it and posted and I'd be done. And that was actually what I feared the most. But he didn't do that. And I'm glad he didn't.
He's tactical.
Okay. This looks like Shannon Q.
Yeah, he's. I've always said that Matt Powell's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
He's a
Okay.
What the hell? What did he just accuse Matt Powell of? Being smart?
He said he's a smart guy. I was like,
the guy that just said that the Big Bang can't happen because water can't come from dust.
Yeah,
remember, these are cuts that Matt has done. He's done some edits, so we don't know the actual context of what these guys said.
Okay.
And with the creationists in general and Matt Powell especially, you have to watch out for dishonest editing.
And there couldn't be much because he repeated that other thing, 2-3 times.
A walking charisma machine, and that's the problem. When you're...
And he's a manipulation
That's a series, I believe.
machine.
Well, he's quick. He's witty. That's
the reason why I don't debate Matt Powell.
You've got this entire atheist...
See, the smart one was at the end. That's why I don't debate Matt Powell, because... Yeah, he's going to gish gallop and he's going to throw all kind of nonsense at you. It's like debating any of the other, Hawaiian shirt guy or anything else. There's, people do it for fun, but there's, very little point to it because you know what they're going to say and they're going to be obnoxious about it. And that's about enough of that. Because I had something more entertaining to look at. Let me get rid of Stewart there. And we'll drop that Matt Powell too. There we go. Okay. Matt Powell.
Matt Powell video. What's the date on it?
This 1 month ago.
Really? Because he really got some old video. I mean, he had to reach way back for most of those cuts.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt Powell, horrible person. I don't care what you say; it's a bunch of nonsense, and your hate preaching is awful, and you know you're just awful. I had enough of that. So let's find something more where we can answer something here. All right, here we go. Let's try this. Answer this, atheist. Okay.
I've asked so many atheists this question, and not
all right. This is what I want. Here we go.
One of them can answer me.
Okay.
Or if they try to answer me, the answer is just not a good answer. If you're an atheist,
well, you kind of you've kind of poisoned the well there, right? The answer's not good enough for me, but it may be the correct answer. It may be that this guy has jello brains and couldn't understand a reasoned reply if it like bit him in the ass.
Or it's like a Darth Dawkins thing where if you don't answer the way he likes it, he's just going to keep repeating it until you do.
Exactly.
yes, and you're listening to this, give it a shot.
All right.
Answer it in the comments.
Okay.
Or even better yet, do a video on it and tag me.
All right.
Here's the question. You ready?
Yeah, I've been ready. You're building the suspense. It better be good.
If humans are just the result of blind evolutionary processes, as you claim that we are.
First of all, that's not atheists. That's what scientists say, and specifically biologists, geneticists, anthropologists, paleontologists, all that kind of field. They say that by consensus because there's overwhelming evidence. Not atheists, but we're atheists, so we'll listen to you.
Why should I believe that humans have any sort of objective value or purpose?
You don't need to believe that they have objective value or purpose.
What a letdown.
There's nothing that says you need to believe that humans have objective value or purpose. What you have to believe is that there is purpose, but you generate it for yourself. Or if you haven't generated it for yourself, you've probably gotten it from a parent or an institution. That's where it comes from. It's objective in that maybe that purpose is embedded in a stone tablet or a Bible or some form of scripture, and you just haven't been independent enough to determine your own purpose. But really, purpose comes from within. And my purpose today may be different from my purpose 5 years from now. I may have a whole different sense of purpose. But as long as you have a sense of purpose, it doesn't need to be objective.
Yeah, Aunt Jer brings up Matt Powell has this picture he has that he thinks has a pterodactyl being shot down during the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's way out there. Terrible person. And we've talked about having morals and purpose and all these things many times, and we'll repeat it again, okay? There's reasons to believe that morals come about naturally within species, especially social species. Atheists, why you address this to atheists, I still don't know. There's so many of them, but we're going to repeat it again. An atheist does not a scientist make. I'm not a scientist. Okay? So I don't have to have any answers for any of your questions at all to not believe in your God because you failed to convince me. That's on you. So there you go. All right? Is that... Can I tag you in it now? I probably answered in the comments. I usually do. And hello, Ember. It's good to see you. We was talking about you earlier that you might make it this weekend. And we were talking about a bunch of other people said they're going to blow into town. So, yeah, that could be quite the event with everybody rolling in. So looking forward to all the folks that can make it being there. Again, that's going to be neat, just meeting so many people in person. And a lot of them are traveling from a distance and everything. So that's really neat. Yeah. So, yeah, there's your answer. And I don't think you're going to like it, though. All right. Answered.
Not a good answer.
Yeah, he's not going to like the answer. But that's answered. No. All right. Who's next? We've got another question. Okay, atheism. What happens after death? Worm food?
Yeah.
They were throwing the roses on the casket as it drops down to the ground. And I remember standing there looking at that, thinking this question. How is it that he gave his whole life to following a God and believing this book, and yet that God let him die?
What?
Okay. Well, how old was this person, first of all?
Yeah.
And then the question is, where's he gone now?
Is that the question?
People have pondered that question a lot.
You just put him in a hole in the ground. I think I know where he's going.
Yeah, but there's evidence people have been burying the dead for a long time, probably because they were dead. So
occasionally they dig them up a lot later and they're still there.
Yeah, you can do that. Some of them have been in the ground for a long time and they find them. We've got, about a dozen hominid species that we found fossils of.
More already. Yeah,
they were still there after all those years. Now, of course, there's a lot of beliefs about afterlives, and all I can tell you is I guess we'll find out. Because, as far as I know, nobody's came back to tell us about it. And even when they have stories about people that have come back, supposedly, don't have much to say, right? Of course, some of the stories are religious beliefs. Well, I saw Jesus, but the details about the afterlife seem more individual than universal. So, if there is an afterlife, it seems to be set up uniquely for you for some reason.
Is he off celebrating somewhere, and we're the ones that actually got the raw end of the deal? Or
well, that'd be neat. I'll take that afterlife party, right? Sounds good to me.
Or is he, gone into some purgatory type place of limbo or Never Never Land? Or is he actually going to come back as some sort of cat or mouse or bird or something?
Oh, reincarnation. It's another belief. If there is some sort of energy that is us, what some would call a soul or something that can transcend the body, then I guess anything's possible. I mean, you could go here, there, anywhere. You could be something else, right? So, yeah, that if that could be demonstrated, then you would open up all these possibilities.
Something? Or is that it? As an atheist, I said, well, that's it. You go into that hole, and this is my thought. I hope I don't upset anybody, but I thought you just become worm food.
Well, there you go. Very honest. Yep. I don't think he's an atheist anymore. He was hinting at it. But worms got to eat too. Clint Eastwood, should we bury that feller? And he said, buzzards got to eat, same as worms, right? It's, I don't know. It's people get embalmed and put in tombs, and all these things we do to the bodies and everything, and kind of takes away from the natural thing of breaking down and, returning to the earth and all that kind of stuff, right? So, I don't know, bad mouthing the worms. worms serve a useful purpose, and there's lots of species of worms doing all kind of things, breaking things down, aerating the soil, doing all kind of things. I wouldn't be bad-mouthing the worms. They're just doing their thing.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is this argument from you won't like the truth, so let's believe this God thing. You're worm food. Well, you decay, and just like any other organic form of life or material. That's the reality. You don't like that reality. Okay, let's talk about God. Let's believe in God. That's really what he's appealing to.
But with today's burial practices, the worms would need a jackhammer and a cutting torch to get at you.
That's the thing. But if we didn't have the modern preservations and tombs and caskets and all that stuff, lots of believers were buried and they became worm food.
I bet raccoons could get in there, though. Raccoons could do it.
Some smart critters. Boy.
Yep.
But you're just bad mouthing the worms, and it's taken away from. It doesn't matter who gets buried in the ground. Worms and other things are going to take care of you, believer or not. If you can separate your soul from the body, but your body's still worm food, and I think the Christians pretty much, don't have a lot to say about the dead body because it's a discarded shell, right? So who cares, right?
Yeah, I think what's also running in the background with this guy or this message that he's doing is just the fact that I don't want to think that I just disappear when I die, that, whatever this mind is of mine just kind of fizzles out and you won't even be aware you're dead. I mean, you literally will have zero awareness of what you are and where you are and what's nibbling at you or whatever, because your mind is gone. And that's just a tough thing to accept. And kind of what Christianity is doing is not accepting the reality of death by creating these stories about resurrection, and I'll be resurrected and I'll go to heaven and I'll be alive and aware forever and in streets of gold. So my materialism and my views of power and status are going to go with me to that place. And that's just kind of the way it's been for thousands of years. But it's not facing reality. It's not facing the reality that, yes, we die.
And it's difficult. I mean, we're alive, we're thinking, and it's hard to fathom that tomorrow you might not be doing that. It's just a very odd thing.
It's unsettling. It really is. If I let myself think about not existing, the fact, that, my whole awareness, my personality is just going to be gone, and I won't even know it's gone. It's unsettling to think about. It is, but you have to think in terms of it's unsettling, but I can live my life better now. Because I know I need to enjoy it now. I need to enjoy my life. Why be miserable? Why be a slave? Quote unquote. I'm kind of using that metaphorically to a corporation. I've only got this one life. I don't want to spend it wastefully like that.
So if you look at the weather forecast, Scott, and you see that next Tuesday, it's going to rain. There's going to be a stormy, rainy day, right? Does it ruin your whole week?
Right.
No, it does not. In fact, you can plan on staying inside and watching favorite movie or listening to your best. There's a certain kind of jazz, mellow jazz, to listen to the sound of the rain falling down. And
you can do all that, and so you can deal with it when it happens.
Exactly.
The neat thing about being dead is you don't have to deal with it.
That's true. You will not. There will be no anxiety when you're dead. There'll be no fear when you're dead.
So why buy the anxiety from next week's rainstorm today?
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Anyway.
And elbows up, Ollie. Good to see you. Canada checking in. Yeah, there's a lot of one of the things I think that bothers me the most is, you know, you missing your loved ones, you know, your wife, your kids, you know, that kind of thing, you know, that.
Yeah, but you're not going to miss them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but you're not going to,
yeah.
You think you are, but are you really going to miss them? Right. Yeah.
I had to talk with my kids last week about burial wishes and things like that. And, you know, while they fold your hands together, I asked them if they will do it, have my middle finger sticking up. I hope they can do that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm down for cremation. I
don't like cremation. That sounds horrible. That sounds so unnatural.
Well, my father was cremated. My mother wanted to be buried, so I buried my mother old-fashioned style. But my brother was also cremated, so it's. I
don't really care.
I don't know.
Mean,
yeah, again,
take up less space when you're cremated.
That too. Yeah.
They have
organic.
They have body farms. They can lay your body out, on a body farm and learn, forensic science facts from it.
You can donate to science. Yeah, that's. They had the thing out about burying you with a tree, and one of my sons thought that would be cool to be a tree. I was like, it'd be cool.
It'd be cool to be a tree. I buried my dad in a wooden coffin so that he would be able to feed the grass.
Yeah, there's this tree that's growing in the yard where one of my dogs was buried, and the wife was asking me one day, "Why don't you cut down that wild tree?" I said, "Because it's growing right where the pup's at." So it's like, oh, okay. So I let it grow.
We used to plant a tree on top of all of our pets. It's a cool thing to do.
Okay, let's see. We need some little fun. Oh, this one sounds interesting. Richard Dawkins is a liar and atheists are stupid. Here we go. We'll get back on track here.
Heavenly Father, please, Lord Jesus, please help me show mercy. Please let me live a life showing people mercy. Please, Heavenly Father, please, Lord Jesus, help me show mercy.
What
is the repeat thing over and over? Didn't God hear you the first time?
Yeah, what was he mumbling about?
Please, Heavenly Father, what must I do to convince you to show this planet mercy? I will tell the cross for hell's angels. I will tell the cross for the beast. I will tell the cross for the false prophet.
Yeah, okay. What? You're going to carry a cross around. All right, good for you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it in this weather, though. Let me tell you, I was hot, sweaty, worn out. It was all I could do. I just came in, and I just sat in the cool air and just closed my eyes for a minute, and I dozed off for like a half hour. My wife's like, "Are you going to make dinner?" Because I was going to grill, and it's like, "Oh, yep. Hold on, hits you hard."
I will tell the cross for the damned, for the sake of mercy, Father. For the sake of mercy, Lord Jesus.
Okay.
I will tell the cross
More mercy,
for your enemies, so that you feel obligated to show your enemies mercy at my expense, Father.
So when is he going to get to the point?
I don't know.
So that you feel obligated to show your enemies mercy at my expense, Lord Jesus. Please, Father, please, Lord Jesus, make Satan take his own fall. Make Satan take his own fall and tell me what I must do.
He's reading it from a script.
Yeah. And he's got it written down over and over and over again. It's like...
He had to flip it over.
Yes, Father. What must I do to persuade you to save hell's angels, Lord Jesus?
To save hell's angels?
Okay, what does this got to do with Richard Dawkins? Yeah.
I don't know. He's running out of time.
Please, Father, please, Lord Jesus, let me spend my entire existence showing mercy to give you a reason to show hell's angels mercy. In Jesus' name I pray.
What the hell is...
All right, there you go, folks.
What?
It's been established.
I think he clickbaited us.
Richard Dawkins is a what?
Richard Dawkins is a liar and atheists are stupid because this person repeated a prayer over and over saying, Jesus, mercy, and I'll carry your cross.
We got rickrolled.
Yeah, we did. You got us. You know what? Video's crap. You get a thumbs down on that there, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, my. I must have totally not watched that one because that sure was clickbait.
That 11 views 5 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Got one more.
I wonder if God was one of them that listened to his video.
That was terrible. But we got to have something better. Atheists do not exist. Oh, I love atheists do not exist. You know why? You know what it makes me think of? Headphone check. Ready?
No such thing as an atheist. You guys do not exist. Hey, answers in atheism, and that desktop idiot, and that desktop idiot, and that desktop idiot. You're full.
I love that desktop idiot.
That's what it makes me think of. Wait a minute. Where'd we go here? Wait a minute. We got to get back here. There we are.
I feel kind of bad that he didn't repeat my channel name 3 times. Yeah.
I do love that the desktop idiot thing.
That is good.
I got to pull this back up. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Yeah, atheists do not exist. Okay, let's see what you got.
Atheists do not exist. They come in 4 categories.
Wait a minute.
4? 4?
Atheists do not exist, but they're in 4 categories?
Yeah, how does that work?
Okay.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
First, they see evil and pain in the world and reject the God that can cause it. Second, they see science.
Okay, first is the evil argument, I guess.
The problem evil, yeah.
Problem evil.
Which I don't,
what is it?
Which I don't really give a shit about.
Well, here's my response. The heavenly realm was made first, okay? There, everything is happy-go-lucky and good, other than rebelling angels once in a while. But the heaven was made first. So the mortal realm was made as an afterthought, a second thought, just to be a jerk when you could have just left us in heaven. So that's my problem with it. It just doesn't make any sense. If you already had heaven and you just want everybody to worship you all the time and tell you how great you are, I think it would come off a lot easier if it wasn't in a world of suffering and disease and poverty and no food and all these horrible things, rather than living on the clouds and just everybody's happy and healthy and floating around with wings or whatever the hell you do. So yeah, that is a problem.
Scientific and archaeological evidence and think that it contradicts the existence of God.
No.
Scientific and archaeological evidence. No.
It does not contradict.
I mean, that would disprove
not an argument.
It would disprove things like our magic zoo boat. It would disprove things like the moon being split in 2. Things like that religions claim, yeah.
If you learn enough neuroscience, it disproves the idea of a spirit mind and, a soul and all that stuff. But I don't think archaeology disproves God.
No.
Well, wait a minute now. Have they found a fossil of God? Were they there? Did they see the fossil?
I don't know. Maybe somebody
it sounds like a gap to me. It sounds like there's no. It sounds like a gap, right? No God.
I know Hawaiian shirt guy's got some special fossils there. Maybe he's got one of them.
God fossil. Jesus fossil would be good.
Jesus fossil.
Jesus fossil. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's no gods in archaeology or anything.
Jesus, would he be an intermediate species or intermediate fossil between God and I don't know.
I don't know. Is Deviant still out there? Deviant would know. Let us know, Deviant, if you're still out there. Simply Secular Dave. The Daves are here, man. How's it going, man? Good to see you.
Too many days.
Too many days? There's never enough days.
There's
Need more
too many
days.
Yeah.
There is no name higher than Dave. That's my favorite meme. There's no name higher than Jesus was spray painted on a wall and somebody crossed it out and put Dave. It's my favorite meme of all time.
Third, did not see any evidence of God.
Third, no evidence of God. Now, see, there you go. See,
that would be one.
That's the one. That's what makes an atheist. They do not see any evidence or any good evidence or any very good evidence, however you want to answer the question. Yes, that's what's lacking. Evidence.
As to the first, they are really believers. Once they understand that God and know why there's bad things in the world, they would believe.
If they knew God and why there's bad things in the world, they would believe. No,
that's the same as the first argument.
Yeah, and that's just following the Bible. That's just saying, well, bad things happen because they do, and God is mysterious. You can't know how God does things. So, yeah, good things happen to bad people, and bad things happen to good people, and people get sick, children get sick, all these things because it's part of God's plan, and you just got to accept that, and then everything's a lot easier. Of course, it doesn't make any sense, again, why God would be so cruel and sadistic, but yeah, okay.
So he's given 4 straw man properties that atheists have.
Yeah.
But the name of the video is Atheists Do Not Exist.
But they do not exist. So, he's got it all figured out, though, don't he?
Okay.
They claim to reject God as some sort of tantrum.
Some sort of tantrum. Okay, yeah, I see Ace Ventura there. Ace Ventura is not having a tantrum. Ace Ventura was trying to prove that he was worthy to be in a mental health institution, and he was dancing around with the tutu on. I don't think he was throwing a tantrum, though. I'm not throwing a tantrum. Trying to figure out what the heck you're talking about. But I've never thrown a tantrum about God. I will admit, when a friend of ours, this was a long time ago when we were still teenagers, a friend of mine got killed in a car accident. And we were talking about it amongst us and everything, and it's like, how does one of the good guys, go? You know what I mean? It wasn't even somebody that, was unlikable or whatever. I mean, he's a good dude, and so we did question things, but I don't think I was mad or had a tantrum or anything about it. I just, there was that discussion of, how could God let this happen, and it was a shock because we had just talked to him, and then that evening he went out, got in a car accident, and that was that, and it was, it was very powerful, but that's the closest I ever came to questioning, that kind of stuff. Because it just seemed just so wrong, you know what I mean? And he was our friend, and the emotional thing. And if I was more of a believer, though, I could easily be swayed to being mad at God for it. Be a miso or a meso theist. I could surely understand it if something happened like that to a believer.
It's easier not to believe. As to the second, they're agnostic. They see evidence of both.
So now an atheist is agnostic. Okay. Well, you know what I say about agnostics? They're wishy-washy. All right. Make up your mind.
Both sides, and do not know what to believe. It's easier to reject God and more responsibility. As to the
Now, wait a minute. Weren't you just agnostic?
So the guy is confusing atheism for nihilism.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell he's
Yeah, he's a little confused with his terms, and that's for sure. I don't, and it makes less and less sense the more he goes. What is this? This This is almost a whole minute long of why atheists do not exist, talking all about atheists and agnostics and everybody else. Okay.
Third, they are believers. They believe in God, they just want it proven to them.
Atheists are believe in God, but they want it proven to them.
I believe in unicorns, but I just want it proven to me.
Well, if it was proven to
you're a
you,
theist who wants proof.
if it was proven to you, you wouldn't be an atheist. I mean, that's just kind of pointless to say, well, if I had evidence, I wouldn't be an atheist. Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing what we just covered. There's lack of evidence, as you said earlier, about 20 seconds ago. Lack of evidence. So now, how dare you ask for evidence? Yeah, I'm asking for evidence.
Well, then they'll hide behind plausible deniability. The fourth,
plausible deniability. What's plausible deniability got to do with it? But I'm just saying, well, you can't send me to hell because I didn't know any better. Is that? I don't get
How many views does this video have?
82.
Oh my God!
In 2 years.
2 years ago, yeah. This guy's a rabbi.
I don't know.
Rabbi. That's what it says.
Oh, Rabbi Morty.
Rabbi Morty. Yeah.
Morty.
Yeah.
is that they reject the religious practices as uninclusive or morally corrupt. And this
Well, that's kind of what that leads to being like a nun, right? Where you walk away from organized religion, even though you might still have some beliefs or whatever, that you have a problem with things that are going on inside the church. And I think that's a good reason to walk away from your church. So bad things are happening and you're going there, then you're kind of supporting it, right? These things happen. And again, well, you'll hear stories from a lot of the people, apostate sisters and a lot of them there. They tell a lot of these bad things that happen to religious folks, and they've got every reason to be upset. Yeah. I don't. But yeah, bad things have happened to some people at church or with their religious leaders, or they get into a cult and all kind of things. And there's physical abuse, there's mental abuse, all kind of things. But as I've said before, though, I didn't suffer through any of that.
I think these are believer problems.
Surely there are people, but I didn't have any problems at church. I didn't have any problems at scouting. I didn't have any problems at school. I didn't have any problems with a funny uncle or none of that stuff. Call me lucky, whatever. I do feel for people that are on the other side, but it doesn't apply to me.
Therefore reject God. They are believers, as they can reject religion which is man-made and still believe in God.
Rejecting religion and believing in... No, not in a... Oh, man.
He's confused. This guy's really confused.
What? I can't even dissect it. I just can't. I think the heat today just
video
just cooked my brain a little bit. And dude, you don't know what an atheist is. It's very simple. Now a lot of words are complicated. Okay. An atheist is not. If you look it up, it's a very clear, concise definition. People that don't believe in God. That's it. It's very easy. I don't know why it's so hard to understand, and you don't understand, and I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
They just can't accept that there are people that just don't believe in their bullshit. They're in denial about atheists, right? It's like atheists don't exist. How many videos are named atheists don't exist? I bet there's about 10,000 of them out there on YouTube.
I think I got another one in the queue. Well, he's got a couple seconds. Hold on, we'll finish him off.
I don't even know if you
the hidden
should
fifth one is they see the problems in the Bible and do not believe that therefore God is real. For those I say, come check out the original Testament.
Whatever the hell that is. Okay, reject.
This is the Old Testament with the magic Zubo, right? And you want me to revisit it with that smile you got there and say, aha, you really missed it because obviously the rabbi wants you to go to the Old Testament. Okay, magic Zubo. No.
Rabbi
Adam and Eve. No. Mass Exodus. No. Parting of the Red Sea. No. No, bunch of nonsense in the Old Testament. That's why I reject the Old Testament as much as I reject the mythology and barbarism and so many other things that are in the New Testament as well. There was a study one time about, the amount of violence in the books or something like that. And yeah, the New Testament and the Old Testament have a lot of violence in them. The warning label, right? Adults only. So going to the Old Testament doesn't help, Rabbi. And yes, we've rejected your Bible stories. We're rejecting it so much, I made a protest sign, and we're going to Kentucky this weekend to protest the nonsense of the Magic Zoo boat. So, no, you're not going to convince me there was a Magic Zoo boat. I just don't see it ever happening. So, the rabbi there, boom, you're gone. Okay, we'll give you one more chance here. Atheists do not exist. Exclamation points, question marks, exclamation points, question marks.
Okay. Oh, him again?
Atheists do not exist.
Oh my God. I don't exist. That's horrible.
Okay.
I'm feeling angst.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Existential angst.
This one's 8 seconds shorter than 9 seconds shorter than the other one. So you better get on it.
You don't believe me? Let's look at the word. Romans 1 and verse 20.
Oh no.
What?
Not Romans 1:20. He can't be talking about Romans.
No.
Oh my.
To be an atheist, I have to believe in the Bible is the word of God, and I have to read Romans 1:20.
And yeah, you're going to be held accountable for not seeing the invisible things. So
It says, for since the creation of the world, his invisible attribute.
Oh yeah. See, that's why I laugh at this, because it's funny. It's invisible things.
Are clearly seen.
No, invisible things are not clearly seen.
Not
that
clearly.
Makes no sense.
No.
That makes no sense. The best you can hope for is some kind of an inference. You cannot clearly see invisible things.
Understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and God.
It's look at the trees, and that proves a God. Well, even if it does, it doesn't prove your God.
Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Without excuse, because I don't believe in invisible things. And that's why I think every time they bring up Romans 1:18 through 20, I just...
No.
All right, because I heard it for the last dang time.
So I don't exist because I have no excuse. No,
I guess.
Yeah, what's next?
Missing Mod. Hello, Stephanie. Always good to see you. There you go. Just believe on the evolution. Thanks for stopping by, Stephanie. Always good to see you.
Some people run around talking like they don't believe in God.
Yeah? Like me. Oh, that's me. Okay. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I think I do that too. I don't definitely.
You do that too?
I do believe in God.
I think we've talked
Somebody
about
asked
it.
me.
a few times, Yeah.
When somebody asks me about it, basically, then I don't. Yeah, or I say I don't. But I don't exist.
I don't know.
Let's see why.
Let me tell you, everybody believes in God.
I do?
Okay.
How do you know?
There's a word called atheist, right?
That has
everybody
not been
believes
part
in God.
of my remembered or felt experience in a long time.
And of course, we can point out that there's a lot of other gods that you, as a believer in one of them, probably do not believe in the others. So you can also be an atheist towards those gods, which the Christians at one time were called atheists by the Romans because they didn't believe in their gods. And it's like they were pointing fingers and saying, look at those silly Christians over there. They don't believe in the right God. And now the Christians are saying, look at you silly atheists over there. You don't believe in the right God. Or what? Okay. Or you don't believe in God. You're not getting anywhere, as far as I can see.
People don't want to acknowledge God, but everybody believes that there is a God.
Because you cited a Bible verse?
Yeah. Just because a book says something doesn't make it reality.
Yeah. The Bible is weak evidence. I will grant the Bible is evidence because I was corrected before that saying the Bible is not evidence is not correct. It is evidence. Somebody wrote something down. It's evidence, but how good evidence it is, all those kind of things. Yeah, that's totally subjective.
Well, it's evidence that the Bible exists, but it's not evidence that God exists.
Right. So it's a very weak evidence, no matter how you look at it, because I could write a book too. Does that make it all true? No. So, we got objective ethics in here saying atheism is a nondescript definition because you need to know what kind of atheist someone is, aka soft atheist, hard atheist, anti-theist, atheist, new atheist, etc., all have a unique position. That is true. You've got the Dawkins scale, right? Was it 1 through 7 or something? I think it is.
The other thing is that I'm only an atheist. I'm only an atheist when I'm next to somebody who believes in some kind of God, and I don't believe in that particular God. So my atheism is defined by what they believe, not what I believe. Right? I don't believe what they believe.
Yep. And we were discussing the anti-theist the other day. That we try to lean to say more anti-theism because anti-theist seems to be taking things a little personal, and tomorrow they might not be a believer, and a lot of folks have made that decision. So, but yeah, it definitely is a lot of categories. Nothing wrong with being atheist, but if you want to debate the position of an atheist, you need to first understand what kind of atheist they are. Sure, if you're going to debate somebody, you should always start with terms. It's always a good idea, because you'll end up wasting a lot of time and running back and forth and round over some terms. So definitely define your terms, especially in a debate, so there's not Jordan Peterson, what do you mean by that word? And what do you mean by that word? And it's like, look, here it is. We got it wrote down in the notes. We already agreed to it beforehand. All right.
What do you mean by what do you mean?
Yeah, right.
What do you mean by what? Define.
Yeah.
Speedy says, I got a black belt in atheism. There you go. We're going to keep you around, Speedy. We might need you. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And let's see. Missing Mod and a bunch of folks chatting back and forth. Let's see. Objective Ethics has got a bunch of comments. Appreciate it. Yeah, agnostic, I'm joking. It's a Jim Jeffries joke. The wishy-washy atheist, where he describes a train, and in the engine, you have all the atheists, all the scientists and everything and stuff. And then in the middle car, you got the agnostics, and he calls them wishy-washy, and he says the F word. And then in the back, you've got everybody else, you know, all the theists and everything and stuff, you know. And there's got to be a point where the folks in the engine car are thinking, you know, we'd go a lot faster if we just reached down and pulled this pin.
Yep.
We have an intuitive internal homing device that tells us that we were created by something or by someone greater than us. And
all right, now see, there's a claim that it could be tested. This homing device, right? I want to know more about this I haven't heard this homing device claim before.
Yeah, if there's a device, we ought to be able to locate it.
Yeah. Deconverted man, how's it going? Good to see you.
What the?
even if we don't know God personally, we are still aware that we were created by an intelligent designer.
No, every time my back acts up, I think, damn you, evolution, right? Because that's why our backs hurt. And that's why a lot of other things hurt, because we stood up. That's what I get, damn you, evolution. So as far as God goes, no, we're not intelligently designed. That's nonsense.
What's up, Snack?
There's so many things that are wrong with the human body. There are so many diseases. There are so many things in nature. Many of us have talked about them before. All the parasites, things that can harm you very much, cause blindness and diarrhea and all these things in people, dysentery, all these. Who sat around thinking up all these awful things? I mean, it's like out of a horror movie, I'm going to make this little critter that's going to eat your eyeballs. I don't see the intelligent design behind it. Deconverted man says, what intelligent designer put the amusement park on top of and inside of the waste disposal park? Yeah. And both ends, right? How many people choke every year just trying to eat, right? Intelligent design, no. And of course, us guys know there ain't no protection for the fellas. I don't see no intelligent design there. If I was designing me and I had that extremely sensitive part of the body hanging out there, I'd have put a steel
Balls would
cage
be on the inside. Yeah.
I'd have put a steel cage around it, or left them up inside, one or the other.
Yeah, what the hell was up with it? And there's all these low bushes, and branches and stuff. Can you imagine? It's just not right.
No, and of course, the answer is, and of course, with what science knows is because the little guys in there, they don't like body temperature, and it's like, now wait a minute. What kind of designer made the swimmers that have to go to the egg not like body temperature?
They could have put the balls in the nose, where you're always taking in cool air and cooling them off.
Oh, you put them on the chin. That was in a South Park episode.
On the chin.
No, intelligent design's a terrible argument. I can point out things all day long, including the poor children that are born with birth defects and all these things, spontaneous abortions as well, and then the woman's body, at least with humans. Other species are not like this, but with humans, doing everything they can to wipe out every last swimmer. I mean, it's a hostile environment. There's everything you can be done to try and prevent this from going on. And then, of course, if you try to enjoy it, like the person said, or Stuart said earlier, if you dare try to enjoy yourself, well, don't do that either. Even though the intelligent design gave you P zones, E zones, erotic, all erogenous zones, the hormones, the almighty O face, all these wonderful things that go along with it, but don't use any of that. Okay, so how much time was spent at the workbench right? Wiring all this stuff together to make a rule to say, don't do that and enjoy it. How long a list do you want? No intelligent design. Bad argument. And you are out of there. Let me see if I find somebody here who's a little more entertaining.
Yeah, these guys are duds.
You are scraping the bottom. It's like it's like we have to empty the troughs we use to water the cattle, and occasionally we have to scrape the bottom of it to get some of the green stuff that grows on the bottom to get it out of there and clean it out and make it nicer for the cattle. That's what you're doing. You're scraping the green slimy stuff off the bottom.
Yeah, it's pretty bad stuff. Yeah.
Well, let's try this one.
Next? What you got next?
Demons use black mind magic on you to make you an atheist.
Oh, I like that. This is
not racist.
Yeah.
Did you know that some demons can use mind magic on you to turn you atheistic? I have this particular demon that afflicts me, and it literally puts this like brainwashing, like mind magic kind of brain dead state over me.
Okay, he has doubts, right?
What the freaking freak?
He has doubts, and he thinks it's a demon.
There you go. It's always demons. I mean,
yeah,
the demon haunted world.
So his mind has started to work a little bit, and as soon as it started to work, he said, "Oh no, that must be a demon."
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, this guy's a great. Okay, roll him.
And I've been a new Christian for about 3 months.
All right, new Christian. Okay.
New Christian.
And it makes it to where like I forget about God, I forget about Jesus, I even kind of like forget about them being real. It's like a derealization of like Christianity.
It's a demon. Oh, a demon does that.
Sounds like you're not very committed to this idea here.
Sometimes I forget where I left my car keys, and I think, "Oh no, that's a demon."
I don't think it's demon. I think he's got some rationale going on that's saying the magic Zubo don't make no sense. The magic Zubo don't make no sense.
He thinks reason is a demon. Yeah.
Maybe he's calling cognitive dissonance a demon.
And mind demons.
Whenever I have gone from like one state of belief to another, I have experienced unsettling times of conflict. And I can see where somebody who wants to believe so bad so they can be a Christian might be tempted to attribute what's going on in their brains to demons. Because, I mean, who tries to keep you from believing? It's demons. So a demon must be in my head. So it's sad, but I can see where maybe they get that tendency.
Ember wants to know if demons can cook. I don't know. We'll have to find that out. Jackie says angels use white magic on your mind to make you a theist. Ah.
So either way, your mind is not your own. You're not independently thoughtful. You don't have independent thoughts or critical reason. That's exactly where Christianity wants you.
Hey, hello, Bree. Good to see you. Bree might be rebranding, I heard.
Rebranding?
No
more high side?
Mix it up a little bit.
What you going to rebrand to?
You going to go political, Bree?
No,
I think she
was. Yeah, I think she was drifting away from the bug thing because she doesn't cover bugs as much, something like that.
Oh, I like bugs.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we like the bugs. But, sometimes that's what folks do with their channels. So, you do what you want to do, what you got to do, and all that stuff. And I'll still be there, Bree.
And like Christian beliefs, or like the belief in Christ. And it's particularly evil. And whenever this demon that afflicts me tries to affect me very strongly, I notice like that my whole perspective on life starts to get very secular.
Yeah. I think rationale is trying to creep in there. That little voice in your head is saying, you can own people. And rationale's on the other shoulder saying, no, you can't do that anymore. It doesn't matter what the Bible says. I think you're a little confused. I think that's
I kind of feel bad for the guy.
I think that's about enough of that one. He's got more problems going on there than just Jesus. You got too many voices speaking to you, I think. Okay, I wanted to cover this one. I was thinking about doing it in a video, but I don't know. And then I'm just like, no, you know what? So this one's a little bit longer.
So this guy had 47 views, and 46 of them were his therapist.
Yeah, 47 views.
And one was his parole officer.
Yeah, one of them's me, and
okay.
not reaching a lot of people with the message. So yeah, 47 views in 2 months. That's not very good reach. Maybe throw in there like, you stupid atheist or something like that. Maybe you'll pull a few more views.
Yep.
But this guy here, he's got some terrible arguments, and it's been in my queue for a while. So you know what? Here, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So here we go.
I've often said that atheists have far more faith in evolution than Christians have in their belief in Jesus.
Boy, that's an original point.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of faith in evolution because I've read about it.
And first of all, an atheist does not a scientist make. We're going to repeat it again. An atheist doesn't believe in God. An atheist doesn't have to know anything about biology. Not one thing. However, evolution is a well-supported theory in science, and most Christians also accept evolution because it's a well-supported theory in science. But we'll go with it. Okay, atheists believe in evolution, takes more faith than believing in Jesus. Well, what do you mean by Jesus? I can grant you a Jesus existing. I can even grant you a Jesus being crucified, but I'm not going to grant you a magical Jesus or a God incarnate Jesus. So, but we can both agree that, all right, I'll spot you a Jesus and you spot me some evolution. We're all good.
Now let me explain.
Okay.
I've got here a quarter.
All right.
Simple quarter. And I want to ask you atheists a question.
All right.
Is it possible for this quarter to land 100 times consecutively, one after the other, on heads?
Yes. 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 What the fuck?
Well, that was real hard.
What's going to stop it? Yeah.
Look at apostate sisters dropping a yes right away, too. I mean, it's not very... Ask a harder question, right? I mean, obviously, now that would be unusual, right? Because you would expect a 50-50. But if you flip it enough times, it'd come up 100 times. Sure. It could come up 1,000. People might start putting money on it. Dang, look at this guy's going to roll another one, right?
My second question is this.
Oh, I hope this one's better.
Say you had a regular die, a six-sided die.
Okay. Everybody know what a die is? Okay.
Same thing.
All right.
Is it possible, no matter how long it takes you to roll that die, that you could roll that die so that the number 6 will fall consecutively for 1,000 different times?
Yep, that could happen too.
Yep. And the thing is, how good is the die, right? You're just getting one out of a box somewhere.
I suspect
it could land on one side more than the others just because it wasn't machined right, and it's not equal on all sides. There's a lot of things that can go into it.
I suspect if you did roll it 1,000 sixes, somebody would kick your ass.
I was say everybody be behind you at the blackjack table, you know. Roll it again, roll it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Robert
They
De
just
Niro's going to come up and
switch dice on you. They'd make you switch.
They would have.
Yeah.
They would have scored you out after like 10 sixes, I think. Basically.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, if dice are coming up funny, then it's usually because they're not shaped correctly and stuff like that.
But it could happen.
But it could
happen. Like I said, I dropped a color crane once and it landed on its head and stood there.
Yeah.
Strangest thing to look at.
Well, people flipping the water bottles, right? And they do it 100 times to get it to land once, you know, standing straight up. And then they go, ooh, I did it. Because, it took 100 tries. But it's possible to do it, sure. However, most times you're going to drop it, it's going to spill all over the place. But
okay, so he doesn't understand probability. It doesn't understand how it applies to life.
Yeah, the probabilities of the bread landing butter side up are directly proportional to the cost of the flour.
Yeah.
So think about it. No matter how long of an eternity you have to roll that die, is it possible that you could roll it 1,000 times in a row on the number 6?
Yes, we covered this already.
There's nothing to stop it. It's just going to be very, very rare.
Consecutively, one after the other. Okay, my final question is this.
I hope this one's tougher. He's been pretty easy.
Now imagine that you've got a ball.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'll play along. Now I've got a ball.
Imaginary balls.
Got one big ball. Okay.
Gigantic ball.
Gigantic ball. Okay. Maybe you got kicked. I'm just.
And this ball has 1 trillion facets on it.
Ooh. Now we're entering Dungeons and Dragons time now. Okay. So this ball isn't actually a ball because it's got facets all over it.
Okay.
So
20-sided ball. 20-sided ball.
Whatever sided ball. It's not actually a ball anymore. But okay. All right.
Each of those facets have numbers on them from 1 to 1 trillion.
All right.
So imagine it's got to be a big ball. So a gigantic ball, perfectly balanced at all points of that ball. Is it possible to throw that ball up in the air and have it land 1 trillion times in a row, consecutively, one after the other, on the number 1 trillion?
Yes. Once again, these things are possible. They're not probable, but they are possible.
Yep.
And there's nothing preventing it. If you're going to say, well, the odds are against it, well, no, because people defy the odds all the time. Talking about, rolling dice in Vegas or something like that. There's people that get on a streak and they roll the exact numbers they need a whole bunch of times in a row and they win a bunch of money. It does happen.
I guess the only caveat you would have to make for this illustration or this hypothetical is that the landing of the ball does not in any way warp, scratch, wear it down in any way that could cause it to bias itself in a particular direction. But it's still, there's really nothing to prevent that from happening. It's just that it's so rare, we'll all, die of old age before it actually happens.
Well, somehow he's going to bring this to compare it to evolution. So it's because, let's see, why atheists believe in impossible things like evolution. Okay, well, he's trying to set up that you believe in an impossible thing with the coin flip or the die or whatever, the faceted, the 1 trillion fascinated die, faceted die. It's all the same thing. It's like, okay, it is possible, and believing that is not impossible because it's possible. It's not, you compare it to the lottery. Frank Turek likes to talk about the lottery. And that's a bad example, Frank, because people hit the lottery. Not many do, not very often. A lot of people will buy tickets and won't win, but once in a while somebody does.
Well, once every 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Yeah. And so, but it's not impossible, right?
Now, you atheists are going to say that, yes, it is possible, given enough time, enough chances, the laws of probability.
Well, if you already knew that, then why did you ask us? Gosh, you asked and then you already knew the answer. All right, you're setting us up. I got you. Okay. That was a waste, though. You could have just said you already knew that.
He's just trying to
Or
voice
that it would.
Yeah, he's milked it. It has 2 minutes. He could have shortened this video up by 2 minutes, man.
Indeed, one day, very rarely, and the possibility of it landing 1 trillion times on the number trillion is infinitely small. And this is why you atheists, one of the reasons why atheists believe.
Who you calling you atheists?
Yeah, he's what a motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry. Rude language.
You atheists. Okay, I got you.
Even evolution. Because evolution, to be true, has to take into account that over billions of years.
No. We had life pop up on this planet after about half a billion, and Mike was saying, well, there's some other things, and then I think we spotted it to 1 billion. So we'll spot you 1 billion. That's it. That's all you get.
That one single cell somehow developed through billions of years into what you see standing before you today.
No. One cell did not evolve into us. That's not even close.
Yeah.
Complete misrepresentation. And it's also the idea that life all started with this one cell. The reactions seem to be taking place all over the oceans. So there were these primitive. What do you've described it before, Mike? Where the things make the circle and you become
the protocells.
The protocells, yeah. What is it with the lipid membranes or something?
Yep. Yeah. You see, the problem with this is when he says, if you flip a coin 1 trillion times and it comes up heads 1 trillion times, the problem is that he has picked a result. He's picked a destination, right?
Yep.
That isn't how life happens, and that isn't how physical the universe works, right? You don't pick a destination in advance. If you pick a destination, then you can say, oh, that destination is very improbable. Okay. You see the problem there? You don't pick a destination. That isn't how life happened. Nobody sat there in the beginning and said, oh, I'm going to take a chance here 1 trillion times, trillions and trillions of times for billions of years, and I'm going to make a human being. That is religious thinking. So that is a misuse of probability. You can't pick a destination.
Right.
A man. And that through natural selection, this random process occurred so that that single cell evolved into humans, plants, birds, fish, the whole gamut. Now, friends, the correct answer.
Now we're friends? Okay.
The correct answer.
I don't know if I want to be friends with you. But
you're uneducated and you need to shut up. That's correct.
No clue at all.
Answer is this. And let's go back to my quarter.
Oh, no.
Is it possible for a
quarter? Oh, God, again?
Flipped, no matter how long it would take to land on 100 times a row on heads? Friends, it's impossible. It would never happen. Could it?
Wrong. You're setting up impossible. And the same thing where you're just setting up that it's impossible that the chemistry happened in the early oceans on the Earth. All over the place. who knows, trillions upon trillions of times over, all these chemicals were bouncing into each other, so to speak. Chemistry is going to do something with all that going on.
Die, a six-sided die, be rolled so that it would land.
You're repeating yourself?
Jesus Christ. No, you're going to go
on the
through the
number
whole
6
thing again.
1,000 times in a row consecutively.
Yeah,
What about the ball?
It's impossible.
Okay.
Now let's take a trillion-sided ball. Is it
Yeah.
possible?
Oh, God,
no
we're
matter
doing
how
that
long
too?
we had to throw that ball up in the air, that it would.
Your argument's terrible, man. It's not impossible. You've already conceded that it would be possible. So I don't know. You answered yourself, and you're setting yourself up for a fail at the same time.
Land 1 trillion times.
Yeah.
On the number 1 trillion.
Yes.
Friends, it's ludicrous to think that.
No.
And it's impossible to happen. Let me ask you this next question.
Okay. I'm going to give you another shot. You got another question.
Since you believe that,
Yeah.
is it possible that a man could die? And I mean dead. No brain waves, nothing. Heart
Yep, people die all the time.
stop beating. He's dead for 3 days. Body is going into rigor mortis. He's dead.
Yeah.
No question about it. Clinically dead.
Dead,
Is it
okay.
possible for that man
Starting to smell,
rise
yeah.
3 days later from the grave?
No, because the cells have broken down. You've turned into a bunch of goo.
Well, most atheists would say, well, no, that's impossible. So you see,
Almost everybody would say that's impossible.
Yeah, just about everybody. Because
doesn't happen.
rolling freaking dice and trillion faceted balls in a hypothetical thought experiment is totally different from physical, material, complex life forms that can't break down past a certain point without the whole system dying or collapsing. And that's what happens when you die on a cross is you die. Your system can't work anymore. And it would take even more than, because ostensibly his heart was pierced with a spear, so it would take much more than CPR or something like that to revive somebody like that. So yeah, it is impossible for that dead guy to rise from the dead. Now, if maybe he fell into the Jordan River and drowned and was pulled out and somebody gave him CPR, yes, Jesus could have come back from the dead, but not 3 days later.
Yeah. So I'm really, really tired, but I'm going to try this. Okay, if the Earth had formed and every atom had formed and every single atom did the same exact thing, just like rolling a 6 over and over and over again. So every single atom on the Earth was carbon, and there was nothing else, right? And that carbon did the same thing every day for trillions of years. Would we have life? No, we wouldn't. So his analogy is ass backwards. Okay, the reason we have life is because of things coming up different every single time, and because of every single place on the Earth producing a different result because of all the different possible little microsystems, right? So think about it. He's doing it backwards. He's saying that life would have happened if we rolled the same die over and over again. No, it wouldn't have. The reason life happened is because of stochasticity, because of the differences. That's how it happened, not by rolling the same thing over and over and over again. He's thinking backwards. We are not intuitively good at thinking about probability. We are really bad at it.
And especially as we've talked about before, they usually make up the probabilities anyways. Or in this example, it's just a bad analogy because
And, I see these guys. I just want to slap them over and over again until they just wake up. Like, wake the fuck up.
And ultimately, you have reproduction involved in it. And our buddy Sal kept doing car analogies the other day. Well, if you take out a part of the car don't work anymore. And it's like, cars don't reproduce.
I gotta apologize to everybody. I watched a lot of Cell and Bread of Life today, and I'm in a really goddamn bad mood. I mean, I'm really feeling bad about it.
Yeah, if you haven't heard, it looks like Sal and Rebecca have teamed back up again. Yeah, they had a big falling out because Bread supported marriage equality, and Sal thinks gay people have cooties. And they had a falling out, but they've paired back up again. So we'll see how long it lasts this time.
The only cute part in that video that I watched today is Grayson was really jumping on Cell, and Cell sat there and pouted for about 5 minutes. He just looked pouty, like a teenager pouting. It was so cool. He is such an emotional child.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah.
Simply Secular Dave says Canadian Jesus was frozen in a block of ice and woke up when the ice melted 30,000 years later, right?
Yep.
Sure. Might as well.
Canadian Jesus.
Hey, Mike, and of course you too, Dave. I posted a couple of links in the chat to
private chat
that was said during the live chat. Yeah. Something that was said during either this video or another one made me think about this Discovery headline I read about. And of course, I don't even know how old it was. I didn't even notice the date. But it says, strange cellular entity challenges very definition of life. I don't know if you've heard about that or read about it. I just wanted you to take a look at it for future reference.
Okay.
To see what you think, because it's very fascinating, because it's a very, very few base pairs.
Oh, cool.
The thing, and it has some characteristics of life, but it's also has characteristics, how like a virus really isn't considered a life form, but it kind of goes beyond a virus. So, but it's very small. So I just thought, and I think that's a link to the paper this article was based on. So I have both of those.
Sukuna Archaeum. Or Archaeum. Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. I like it.
Anton Petrov just had something out too about another cell they've identified that could be our ancestor or something like that. Yeah, they're making a lot of discoveries, and
it's fascinating what they're learning in the pursuit of the abiogenesis question. How did life come from non-life via chemistry? And even though we don't know, we don't have a full a complete enough explanation to have an actual theory, we're learning a whole lot of good stuff.
I'll take a look at that. Hey guys, my spirit is broken. I have to go. I gotta get out of here.
What?
Yeah, my spirit is broken today. I told you. I told you earlier today, right, when we were talking on the phone. I said, I'm just broken. I quit. I just had it.
Sal broke you.
Selling Bread of Life broke me. Yeah.
Persistent
finally
refusal to follow the facts.
Yeah. Anyway, good night. Good night, guys. I'm out of here.
All right, Mike. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Later.
Yeah, I had a long day working out in the heat. I feel him. I could kick back myself, but I like doing the show, and it's like I was all set to do it last night, but man, I was just running so late, doing things. Well, you know how it is. You want to get everything ready before a road trip, right?
Right.
So
it takes a lot of extra work to get ready.
It does. Just the little things like getting your laundry ready, and all those kind of things. So but I wanted to make sure I put in a show because I've been doing it every week. So I wanted to drop in and besides letting everybody know, what's going on this weekend that may not have heard. And if you haven't heard, one more time, we're going to hit the road and go down to Kentucky, and a lot of other people are as well. Some are flying in. Folks are driving in from all over the place. We got folks coming in from the north, the south, the west, the east, all descending on the Ark Park this weekend for the protest. So if you are available or within the area and can avail yourself to come by and blow your horn or shake your sign, stop by. We will be there. And as far as Saturday goes, Mike was talking about maybe hosting. We'll figure something out. I do have my laptop ready. I loaded StreamYard, YouTube, Discord, all the good things all on it. And I got a little microphone for it and everything and stuff. So I am ready there. I will have that at the hotel. And they have Wi-Fi there and that. And then as far as at the protest goes, there'll probably be live streaming something from my phone, something like that. I did go through my phone today and deleted everything I could. So I had all my good memes and everything all off my phone. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm not going to have a good response, but
yeah.
As much as I could clear off of it, so I can use my phone as well. There should be 5G there and everything, so we're hoping we can do that. And if nothing else, there'll be a lot of recording going on. I'm sure a lot of folks will be recording on their phones and cameras and all the good stuff. Chris is talking about doing a live stream, depending, again, if he can get a signal or not, so we'll see. So one way or another, we'll pop on Saturday night. Saturday night at the Atheist might be a little different this week. We'll see. We're playing it by ear because I'm not going to be here. So
I just hope ICE doesn't show up and deport you.
Yeah, we don't want that. Bigfoot has got my back, so I should be okay.
Bigfoot can mess some people up.
Yeah, I even printed out an updated insurance card to make sure, I was all legal eagle and all my bases covered. So just in case, I got it printed right here.
Any substances that might raise legal questions are out of plain view.
Yep. No problems. There's going to be plenty of things there, and I don't really drink or anything, so not a problem there. But we will be flying straight arrow. I don't like messing around with the Ohio State boys either.
Yeah.
And just like I say, just to be legal. I printed out updated insurance cards and all that stuff. So just in case, I'm gonna. Here's my thing. I'm good to go. Leave me alone, because on the off chance there might be, what the heck you call them, where they stop you to check for if you're drinking and stuff, because it is going to be a holiday weekend. Checkpoints, yeah. So that might, be a possibility. So, if anybody else is driving, remember it is a holiday weekend. If you're going to partake, wait until you get there and you're not driving. Okay? All right.
Do not drink and drive.
Do not. And for anybody that is partaking, there is numerous people who have said they don't partake and whatever. So there's always some sober people around that'll give you a ride, right? Take advantage of it.
Definitely. Don't be shy.
Atheists on one
No, don't be shy. Say, hey, I need a ride. Somebody will give you a ride.
hand will admit that they believe that these impossible things can happen.
Well, again, you haven't set up this impossible thing. You just haven't.
Apples and oranges. I mean, you've got silly little probability mind games, and then you've got actual physical processes that are very complex, and you can say one thing's impossible because a dead body is not the same as rolling dice. I mean, it's just not. It can't just sort of happen, you know, that somebody rises from the dead. You kind of know the physical process of a die. It you know, rolls around and boom, it lands. Very simple mechanical process. Then you have a chemical, biological process, and when that life, you know, loses blood, it you know, it goes into shock, and the heart stops. You can't restart it, especially ostensibly if somebody has thrust a spear through your heart. So, you know, it's just it's impossible. I mean, it's not a matter of probability. It's just impossible.
And we have Objective Ethics says, this was the first time seeing your channel. This was very good. I will subscribe. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time. We try to throw a little information out there and a little humor. And yeah, we do try to engage with the chat as much as possible. Love having everybody stop through and throw their 2 cents in, as it were. Yeah, and we do have Saturday Night at the Atheists every Saturday. Of course, this Saturday will be a little different. We'll see what we're going to do. One way or another, though, we'll have something. But yeah, usually we are gathered for our Saturday Night at the Atheists, where we do a little more in-depth dissection of videos. However, we rarely get through much of them because they're usually that bad, and I do it on purpose. My channel has taken the direction of just trying to have a good time. A lot of these arguments have been heard so many times. We're trying to have a little fun with them, and that's why I've made these little video clips.
No.
Because some of these things we've just heard for the millionth time, and it didn't convince us the last million times, right? So it's not going to convince us again. And I have been accused of not taking some of these things seriously. Well, I do take them seriously. I've made videos addressing many of these things, as well as many YouTubers have as well. And you can only, you know, debunk the same argument so many times. So when it's done, right? Yeah, again, the voters have spoken. And so we did go back to the other toast, because we also love toast around here. We do have fun with toast, and even Patrick Peace figured it out. Somebody that we covered, that it seems to have something to do with making fun of Jesus appearing on toast. That is part of it. And we also have somebody we cover that talks about toasters having consciousness and the ability to evolve. And so, yeah, so again, you know, oh, you saw Jesus on your toast? Well, that's a miracle on him. Surely I'm convinced. And so, yeah, so then I just say, okay, we'll have some fun with it.
We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast.
And not only that, if you don't like the new version,
I buried those cockroaches.
Sorry, that was an accident. But that's another good clip, though.
There's just every once in a while you need a little dose of Tony. Was it Tony Montana? Was that his name?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Tony Montana.
That was in reference to us being called cockroaches. So yeah, that we had fun with that too.
I love cockroaches.
We have fun with it, right? And hopefully, it seems to be the way, at least, that we don't get a lot of trolls here, because they're not going to rile us up. We're having too much fun just picking on these what we mostly think are really some terrible arguments. And when I find these videos, of course, they're repeating the old arguments, but they're throwing their own little twist on it. And this guy was very thorough, because I've heard flipping the coin before. I've heard the die before, and everything. But he's putting them all together. So it's a good little mix, and we have some fun with it. And what are you going to do? You know, some of us have been an atheist a long time, and I'm not convinced. And you really have to try harder to come up with a good, solid argument. Repeating the things we've already dismissed how many times over just ain't going to do it. But
Yeah.
it's good for a laugh, right?
The argument by more talented and more rigorous apologists has been debunked. And so this guy's not going to be able to really do much except belabor the point 100 times and then go into bad logic.
And even the bigger names, Sean McDowell just put out some kind of list, the 100 top apologists and what they think the best evidence for God is. And Deconverted Man sent it to me. And he had a good chuckle, and I was like, uh-oh. And sure enough, Deconverted Man covered it. Yeah, so Sean McDowell's pulling up a bunch of the apologists, and they're just giving the same old arguments as well. And William Lane Craig with the Kalam, and it's like, well, there's a surprise, but that one hasn't convinced me either. So it doesn't matter that they're sticking to them, and they're the top apologists either, because they're still the same bad arguments. Well, what we've deemed bad arguments, and why we've dismissed them.
But then they say that supernatural things cannot happen.
I haven't said supernatural things cannot happen. I've said supernatural things do not seem to happen. No good evidence. People claim supernatural things, but I just saw the late great James Randi's name came up. A lot of us know Randy debunked a lot of supernatural claims. So you've got a problem there that it doesn't seem to be that you can demonstrate a supernatural claim without faking it, so to speak.
This is why atheists believe in impossible things. Now, I would.
I can only speak for myself. I don't believe in impossible things, because I do leave at least the 1% out of a 99%, because I'm open enough to think that anything is possible. I mean, the universe is a wondrously huge place, and there could be beings that have telekinesis abilities or some kind of things like that. I'm open to the possibility. I haven't seen it here, but I'm not going to 100% rule it out. I will say again, though, people that make the claims don't seem to be able to demonstrate them in a controlled environment.
Yeah, and if something, quote unquote, supernatural does happen, the guy is assuming that it proves his particular version of God. Why doesn't it prove a Hindu God or Allah or something like that?
Why can't there be all those gods, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there doesn't seem to be rules for the supernatural. I don't see why you couldn't have a whole bunch of gods, right?
That's true. I mean,
Oh, the Hindus accept that. I mean, they've
more
got
likely than a pantheon of gods.
Yeah. The Hindus have a lot of gods. They have gods for animals and water and trees and air and all kind of things. Why not? Of course, I'm sure this person would dismiss all of them as just being made up.
Yeah, it's just a convenient dismissal of things he doesn't want to consider, or Christians don't want to consider.
I wish I had the faith of you atheists. I really do.
It's not faith. It's, first of all, I have a basic understanding of science. I have a basic understanding of probabilities. I have a basic understanding of reality. And I have a basic understanding of what it means to be an atheist, which means I don't believe in God because you haven't convinced me with your really bad arguments about coins and dice and 1 trillion sided Dungeons and Dragons things.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not my fault. It's your fault. And that's where I've been lately.
Yeah.
I've been putting it right back.
Case.
Yeah. It's not my fault I'm an atheist. It's your fault I'm an atheist. Because I wouldn't be an atheist if I didn't have to reject what you are claiming with this, apologetics video as it is. This is an attempt to prove that, we believe in impossible things and then tag in like evolution. Well, evolution's a well-supported theory. It's got more support than other theories like gravity. And, unless you're Jim Boob or somebody being an idiot online, you're not denying gravity. I see several stories behind you there. Pretty sure if you fell off that higher balcony, you're going to hit the ground just as hard as I would.
I wish I had the faith to believe in billions and billions of years.
You don't need faith. We have evidence for billions and billions of years.
Even if you come up with some lame-ass excuse for why the decay rate of radioactive particles might have changed over time, over the years, we still have the evidence. We have the evidence from radiometric dating methods. We have people who have tested the radiometric. I'm sorry, I keep saying metric for some reason. Radiometric dating methods. So that's evidence. But what a Christian would need to do is prove that it's not reliable, rather than just do disinformation about dating methods, like sending the wrong thing in to be tested with the wrong method, and then coming out with a weird date that's not supportable, like creationists tend to do. So yeah,
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. That's what I'm thinking about.
Objective Ethics also says, my thing is we should always be respectful to people, even if we disagree with them. We do encourage civil discourse here at the Captive Desk. I can agree to disagree. We've had a few people that have stopped in. Not a lot, but there's been a few. We had some nice discourse, civil discourse. We said, hey, thank you very much, and went about our ways. So we do repeat often that when we're attacking these videos, it's the argument, it's not the person, except for people like Matt Powell. We don't know these people. They could be perfectly fine people. They could be your neighbors, all that kind of good stuff. And ultimately, a lot of atheists used to be believers. So in my youth, I used to give believers a hard time. Of course, I was never a believer. And as I said earlier, in your youth, you have a lot more piss and vinegar, right? And
definitely.
So I would, oh, you're just stupid. You believe in a bunch of stupid stuff. But as I got older, I realized that there's many reasons that people can believe these things, many ways they could be indoctrinated into believing these things, and poor education and everything. So, I've learned to, not make it personal. Attack the argument, not the person, unless they want to make it personal, like Matt Powell does. He's awful. He calls people names, and he deserves to be called out as awful. But that's because he's a well-known doodah. But most of the folks we cover, I try not to cover a lot of the big names. I look for people that nobody's ever seen before. Like we've watched how many videos that had, 50 views or 80 views on them. Yeah, the big names get covered plenty. So we try to give some airtime to the smaller channels too.
That could turn a single cell organism into a man or a woman who loves opera, classic.
It doesn't matter. It's as Scott was pointing out, he just put some links. We're finding out more and more things about the evolution of the early cells and abiogenesis and how life formed and all that. That's what scientists do, and it's come a long way just in the last decade or so. Modern technology's helped a lot, and a better understanding of everything all comes together, and the scientific body of knowledge grows, and that's a good thing.
It keeps growing.
I'm not going to be faulted for accepting well-established science, because most people do, even religious people. Most religious people across every religion accept well-established science. So you're also a minority amongst your peers in your religion if you're rejecting well-established science.
Classical music could create the most magnificent symphonies, design and design the iPhone, whatever, computers.
I think Ember said it earlier that this guy is sniffing around basically an argument from incredulity.
Yeah. Well, again, the arguments aren't very new. This, the design argument. Oh, look, this phone was designed. Well, yes, we know how a phone was designed. And science also figures out things like why is there a diversity of life? Why are there planets? Why are there stars? And then they're finding out all these other things, all the forces of nature, the black holes, the dark energy that seems to be out there, all these things. And you're not going to fault me for saying, wow, that's really neat, all the things that science has learned. Because as you're just pointing out with your iPhone there, you didn't get that by praying for it, did you?
Indeed not.
And that out of that single cell inanimate object, human life can come about, or whatever life can come about. Friends,
whoa, wait a minute. If it's a cell, it's a living organism. It's not inanimate.
Right. And it goes. Yeah, this goes back to the life doesn't come from non-life argument, but ultimately life is made up of elements on the periodic table, and I'll point out, show me the living elements on the periodic table. We're talking about
this
cremation.
Is like a guy who's never really studied chemistry.
No.
Or, to appreciate the fact that, like in organic chemistry, things can get very complicated, complex.
And when you pass away, and if you're cremated, you're going to leave behind a couple pounds of elements. That's it. So they're not alive, but they'll be dispersed. And if they're dispersed, however, if you're buried in the ground, whatever, ashes, however, it's dispersed, and something else is going to reuse those elements to be something alive. It could be a tree, it could be a bird, it could be a bug, it could be part of the atmosphere. You can be all kind of things. Your elements are just going to be something else, and they're not alive. They're only alive when this specific reaction occurs, and we get to enjoy it for whatever period of time we get to enjoy it.
Believe in impossible things.
No.
And you have been brainwashed.
No.
By your upbringing, by your.
Once again, here we're brainwashed because of science. No, science has no interest in brainwashing people. And
especially, embedded in the scientific mindset is the fact that everything just about. I mean, there are, like somebody said earlier, there are things that are so established that they're laws, but in science, our knowledge is always tentative and subject to change, subject to adjustment, enhancement, clarification. There should be in science, or in just about any honorable person's mindset, what they call epistemic humility. Is, I mean, at worst, let's see, what did my old professor used to say? At best, well, let's just say at best my knowledge is incomplete. At worst, I don't know anything, I guess, is the opposite. But I forget what he used to say, but I do know it involved the fact that even if we had every textbook, every philosophy book, every scientific paper memorized, our knowledge is still incomplete.
Yeah.
I guess the saying was, at worst I'm wrong, at best I'm incomplete.
And you got to give the scientists a break. I mean, it's always kind of insulting when they, say these things about science, when a lot of these people work their entire lives, some of them long hours, trying to get these answers for us, and then it's just underappreciated, right? I appreciate it. I was like, they make this new discovery, they make a new cure, they make some new technology. We've all, well, at least folks our age, we've watched the internet come up, and everything, the whole video age and everything. It's just fascinating that they can do all this stuff. And I'm sure it fascinated people before us, previous generations, with when TV came out, when refrigerators came out. Why is it all of a sudden that this certain group decides they're going to badmouth science? To what end, I don't know, especially when they're utilizing something like atomic theory to be online and then saying, oh, it's just a theory. And it's like, yeah, but see, science knows enough about electrons that we can harness them to do what we're doing right now, streaming around the world, right? This is incredible stuff.
Very amazing things.
And then to say, suggest that brainwashing or a conspiracy or any of these things. Well, let me tell you what, the last thing you want to do is give people the power to gather all around the world and talk. Okay? That's not how any of that works. And yet science has given us the wondrous ability to talk with people around the world, including scientists. Like, we've got, we're just talking about Dr. Dan. We got Dr. Dan on there, an evolutionary biologist. You can go online and talk to this guy. That's incredible. And then just to dismiss it all, just to make a theological point, again, doesn't make any sense, because people can be religious, they can be scientists, they can accept scientific theories, and they can still go to church and believe in whatever, or synagogue or temple or whatever, and still do their religion on their religion days. But science just doesn't really care about it, okay? Science deals with the real world. If there's a supernatural world, okay, then religions are dealing with it already. They haven't seemed to figure it out because there's so many different ideas and different religions. But I am open. Now, I don't think this person is open at all to ever understanding what evolution is. But I'm open to understanding what religions think and believe and everything. And if some of them or one of them could demonstrate something, I've said before that, well, I would go to your church or your temple or anything else if you could demonstrate something supernatural, and it doesn't even have to be God. Just demonstrate anything supernatural, and for me, it would open the door for everything else.
Yeah, have a guest angel in training or something come and light a bush on fire that doesn't burn away.
Yeah. But it goes on down the line. What it seems to be is so many times, and it's not just religions. I cover cryptids, I cover ghost stories, I cover a lot of these things, and it seems to be either that's all being perpetrated as a hoax, and or there are so many hoaxes going on that there's no way to filter through it all to find any actual supernatural claims, right? So let's say, you know, you've got 1,000,001 ghost stories and only one of them actually happened. Then it becomes very difficult. And the people that seem to be supporting these things the most are also doing what seems to be the most harm by committing so many frauds. And it goes Todd Standing with his Bigfoot frauds and everything. So if there is actually a Bigfoot out there, and if somebody actually had an encounter, you're going to tend to not believe them because you've got 1,000,001 frauds, right? So yeah. I don't think believers help themselves at all because they seem to be committing the most frauds.
Speaking of fraud, did you see where Jimmy Swaggart passed away?
I did. Didn't care.
Yeah, I already thought he was dead. I thought, man, that guy must be dead by now. But you know, apparently he kept chugging away. Seems kind of unjust that he had such a long life. But oh well.
Well, you know, it seems a lot of these dirty rottens live a long time. Pat Robertson and Billy Graham and all of them. And it's like, you know, they're just so awful. Hell don't want them. And that's an old joke. I don't believe in hell. You know.
I understand.
Dave says Bigfoot, or Daryl as he likes to be called, still owes me a 6-pack of Kokanee beer. I'll have to give him a call. And yeah, if you want to hear about cryptid stories, you check out my other channel, The Grassman Chronicles.
The Grassman Chronicles.
I cover cryptid stories, ghost stories, alien stories, and I've been on a series of covering Ohio cryptids. I've gotten through about half of them, and I've got some more in the works already. The notes are already being taken. And I've also got some notes for a Spectre Moose, which I hadn't heard of, but I was speaking with Zach the one day from the Shaken Fist, and he grew up in Maine before he went overseas, and he said, I'll have to see if there's anything from my area. So he was snooping around, and he came across this Spectre Moose story. So I said, well, we're going to have to check that out. So in between... yeah, we're going to get together with Zach, and what's something I do often at the Grassman Chronicles, bring in so-called experts, people from the area, people that have experiences that may help with the story. When we covered sea monsters, I had Stephanie Helms on because Stephanie's a sailor. And when I covered Mothman, I had Joe on because Joe lives in the area. And we've done it with some other ones as well. And
you know, the Spectre
we'll be doing
Moose,
it again. Yep.
The Spectre Moose makes me wonder if it's also accompanied by a Spectre Squirrel with a aviator's hat on.
Could be. We'll find out. Yeah, there's a big old white moose running around in Maine. So yeah, we will be covering that, and as well as I've got the Loveland Frog coming up. We've got a giant frog in Ohio. We've got some cousins of Bigfoot. We've got another lake monster. Let's see. I know I'm missing something. And we also have Ohio Dogman, which I mentioned to Stephanie, and Stephanie said, put me down because we talked about the Dogman before. Stephanie was on telling a story about her encounter with the Dogman, and it's my most watched video. So if you want to hear about that one, check that one out. A lot of people enjoyed it, and so Dogman started out in Michigan, but Dogman's moved all around the place, including down Florida and Texas, and we've got them in Ohio too. So we will be revisiting the Dogman too. I'm going to check off everything that's in Ohio, and I think there's we got like about a dozen cryptids. Ohio's pretty big on cryptids. So I've already covered Bessie, but we've got another lake monster too. So yeah, we've got not just ones, we've got twos and threes. We've got like 3 or 4 cousins of the Bigfoot here. We've got Bigfoot, we've got Sasquatch, we've got Orange Eyes, and there's another one that slips my mind. I've got them all wrote down, don't worry. So yeah, we've got multiples here in Ohio, so lots to cover. So yeah, check that out. And of course, we're always fair at the Grassman Chronicles. We give a fair, objective examination, and yeah, we don't discount that people have seen things or heard things. We just try to figure out that maybe they saw or heard something else and it wasn't actually a cryptid, or maybe it was. And
well, I hope that you get to be the first YouTuber to interview a real Bigfoot.
That would be a dream come true. That's something Bree and I hold dear, and our kindred spirits about is our love for Bigfoot. And Jane Goodall, the chimpanzee lady, has said that if any cryptid were found to be true, she would want it to be a Bigfoot. So we're hopeful.
No doubt, indeed.
Your teachers, by your professors.
This drawing shows 2 different math computations.
No. Probabilities. Mike missed the probabilities.
Can you call this a math computation?
No,
not a math computation. This is a ratio or whatever.
Whatever. Okay.
For the power of 10. The top one, also known as Borel's law of mathematical probability, states that the probability.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
He found something online that agreed with him.
I found a number online, and that proves Jesus.
A big number seems to prove Jesus, yes.
Of anything happening that is 10 to the 50th power to 1 is mathematically impossible, that it can't possibly ever happen.
Well, first of all, if there's a 1 chance in 10 to the 50th power, it's not impossible because you have a 1 chance.
Yeah, because if it's impossible, you have a 0 chance.
Right. This is again the lottery analogy, right? Millions of people buy tickets and don't win, but sometimes 1 wins because it says on the back of the ticket, your odds are 1 in whatever number, 3 million or whatever it is for the lottery. So yeah, whenever there's a 1, it's a possibility.
And if it did happen, it would have to be a miracle.
No, it would just be very improbable.
Yeah, it'd be a rarity.
Yeah, it's like I'm taking a drink of my pop right now. Now, if I dropped it and it just happened to land right on the floor just perfectly and didn't spill all over the place, I would say, wow, that's a miracle because now I don't have to clean up the mess. But it is possible to drop my drink and not have it spill all over the place. It happens sometimes. Although usually it spills all over the place, splashes in places you didn't even think it could, find a sticky spot 2 months later. It's like, how did it get there? Yeah.
To try to put this in perspective, 10 to the 80th power is how many atoms are believed to be in the known universe.
Oh, I've heard this argument before. Frank Turek likes this one.
That is a 10 followed by 80 zeros after it, or 100 million, trillion, 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 trillion.
Wow.
I will talk about the bottom number shortly.
Wow, I'm scared now. You just shook me to my core with that big number. Means nothing.
The second picture shows 2 more figures for the power of 10. The top one.
Wait a minute. What happened to that 10 to the 30301 thing? What's that?
I don't know. I don't even know what these represent. I mean, these are supposed to be the odds of a cell forming or something.
I don't know.
Again, this number means nothing if you had that many reactions also happening in the ocean.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10 to the 30. Okay, well, if there's 10 to the 30 chemical reactions happening in the ocean, this means nothing. It means you don't have a number to put up against it. You don't know how many reactions happen in the ocean. You don't know how many failures and successes happened. And obviously there had to be a lot of failures because usually the successes are the few. So you had all kind of reactions that failed to do anything. They failed to become a cell or whatever, but they still did some things. But this, I don't know what this number is supposed to represent other than it's just a big number.
Power of 30 is a probability of flipping a quarter so that it lands 100 times in a row on heads.
Still can happen though. There's your one in how many?
Though this does not reach the impossible level.
No, it doesn't.
Of Borel's law. In my book, this possibility is indeed impossible.
Well, I don't really care because
that's known as an opinion.
Yeah. And ultimately life is here, right? So by a naturalistic perspective, leaving out supernatural claims, if you just look at the naturalistic perspective, these odds are 1 because life is here.
And to prove me wrong, start flipping that quarter and comment.
I have to flip a quarter, dude. First of all, like I told Sal in the comments, when you're using non-biological analogies, they don't work because you don't have the reactions, you don't have the reproduction, you do not have the redundancy, you do not have the systems that repair errors, so many things on down the line that, again, these numbers mean nothing. They just don't mean anything.
When you are able to flip it 100 times in a row on heads. Provide documentation, of course. The bottom figure shows a probability.
A documentation. It's not impossible, and I'm not going to flip a coin until it happens. Okay, but there's nothing preventing it from happening. So I can flip a coin, and I could say, "Wow!" Post on Facebook. Guess what? I posted or make a YouTube short, right, where I'm flipping the coin like people do with flipping the water bottles. And, oh, wow, all of a sudden it came up 100 times. Oh, there you go. I posted a video about it. And you know what the reaction would be? Well, sure, that's possible.
Fake news.
Yeah, it wouldn't impress anybody. I mean, people would say, wow, that's unusual, but just goes to show it's possible, right? That's all it would be.
Yeah, I don't know where the idea of coming of these huge improbabilities mean it's impossible, because possible and probable are two different meanings. Yeah, it's you just will not expect it to happen. I mean, it will not be in your brain that this thing that has a, why doesn't he just say 1 in 10 to the 30 chance of happening? I don't know why he's got it inverted like that, but
to make a point, probably. Look, the big number, and then the little number over here.
Yeah, if a thing has a 1 in 10 to the 30 chance of happening, I'm not going to consider it as something that's going to happen. Not that it's impossible that it would happen. It's just so improbable. I'm not going to consider it. So I don't know if he doesn't understand that there's a in-between position where things aren't absolutely impossible and are going to actually happen. There's that middle area of likelihood and that risk assessment of, okay, is it likely to happen to me? Do I need to make any provisions for the unlikely chance that that'll happen, no, it'd be a waste of resources to do that. So I don't know. And what's the 10 to the 30 supposed to be again? I forgot that part.
Is the odds of I think he's talking about life, basically, that the odds of a cell forming or something like that. Basically, that's what he was talking about.
That's stupid. I mean, that's just a stupid concept. I mean, we know. Well, I don't want to say we know. We've got some good ideas of how cells formed. I mean, number one, lipids exist in nature and they occur naturally. It's not improbable that happens, and they will form the basis for a container for the biological reactions that need to take place within a cell. And so I don't know.
Let me see what he said.
The second picture shows two more figures for the power of 10. The top one, 10 to the power of 30, is a probability of flipping a quarter so that it lands 100 times in a row on heads.
Okay, that was for the quarter.
Okay, that's the quarter thing. Okay, so it's not impossible.
Nope.
I'm still not going to buy something on credit so I can win the prize for getting 100 quarters in a row or 1,000 quarters in a row. I'm not going to allocate resources in my brain or in my life to flipping quarters that on heads that many times in a row.
And if you want to go to the quantum level, then it becomes possible for all these kind of things. The impossible basically just doesn't exist anymore. Almost everything's possible when you get to the quantum level. I cite Brian Cox often that said on the quantum level, there's nothing preventing a pile of sand from becoming a sandcastle. So that kind of destroys the watchmaker, the tornado through the junkyard arguments and all those, because when you get to that level, it no longer applies. So you can't say, well, common sense tells you, or what reality and everything, because none of that all goes out the window when you start talking about quantum mechanics and everything. It just, and I'm not pretending to understand it. I'm just saying I don't understand it. It's just so, it's another whole level of brain power to even comprehend any of that. But Brian Cox is a smart person, and he's a scientific communicator. And so when Brian says something, I tend to listen. I'm not going to worship him or take it as gospel, but I do tend to listen when a very smart person that works at CERN, who found the Higgs boson particle, among other experiments, pretty smart person, someone you should listen to. Not 100%, but pretty good odds, probably like 10 to the 30 that Brian's giving you the straight shot, and not trying to brainwash you or anything. All right, what's he got left? Because we're about to wrap things up.
Though this does not reach the impossible level of Borel's law, in my book, this possibility is indeed impossible.
Doesn't matter, because it doesn't apply. Once again, your numbers mean nothing. Chemical reactions all across the oceans. Once the ocean's cooled on the planet, there's microscopic fossils being found aplenty. So it seems that life took off without a problem everywhere. And it wasn't just one cell. It was all over the seas. It just microscopically, all these things began to take off once the water was cooling. That's what we know. And I at least haven't heard of any magic wands being discovered, or fossils out of place, or somebody brought up, I think it was on Bread's stream, as a matter of fact, find me a tooth in the Precambrian. There you go, right? The old, I guess the old argument is find me a rabbit in the Precambrian, but somebody said all you need is a tooth because there weren't teeth. Creationists, go dig up a tooth. You want to disprove evolution? That's what it would take. Something as simple as that. Find a fossil out of place. These numbers are not going to do it. Okay, you need good hard evidence, like a fossil out of place. Some genetic information. Somebody said that the soul was implanted in Adam and Eve genetically. All right, well, that's something testable. Find us this soul in the genome, and your prediction
that's just
found in it. That's good science.
Yeah, that's just making stuff up. It's like this I forget what they call it, where supposedly all of the possible different kinds of adaptations that a critter was supposed to be able to make was planted in the DNA at creation, and so it's not evolution. It's just God releasing the genetic potential that was already in the DNA, which is just total bull hockey. It really discounts the role of mutation in affecting species and things.
Tilting Windmill's on it. Tilting Windmill says the 10 to the 30 to 1 figure represents the incredibly small probability that these conditions could have arisen by chance alone, making the existence of a finely tuned, life-permitting universe highly unlikely without a guiding intelligence. That's what it is. They're just setting this big number up that it couldn't have happened because we've got this big old number. And again, I haven't found anything that these numbers relate to, other than maybe the one that's flipping the coin 100 times. But biologically, it means absolutely nothing.
I was looking at Copilot about this Borel's principle or Borel's law. That's the one in the 10 to the 15. He never really said that if something reaches that probability that it's impossible. He said it was negligible, which is kind of what I'm saying. You don't devote any energy to considering it or preparing for it or what have you, because it's such a low probability. He always said it was it was only impossible in the sense of practicality, not in the absolute sense. So yeah, once again, we have a I won't call him a creationist yet, but he sounds like one, misrepresenting something, probably because he read Frank Turek's take on it.
Yeah. Objective ethics. Come on. It's not showing up. Why can't I see it? Okay. If Captive Desk would just look at the trees, we could sort this out real quick. I've had look at the trees on for an interview. I'm one of the few, if any, YouTubers that have talked about look at the trees with look at the trees, discussing looking at the trees. You can check out that video. Look at the trees is a friend of mine. We've made a great friendship over the YouTubes. And Trees and I started out the Grassman Chronicles together because Trees loves some Bigfoot stories too. Trees has where he's living and working and everything, it just became tough to do streaming online and stuff. But Trees, we still talk a lot. And yeah, I had Look at the Trees on my channel talking about Look at the Trees. I mean, top that, YouTube, right? Trees spends a lot of time looking at the trees too. He's out in the hiking and in the woods all the time. He makes videos on his channel. Make sure you check out Look at the Trees. And nothing yet. No word from the trees. So, but Trees is the man on the ground. Trees is not only paying attention to the trees, but Trees is in a Bigfoot hotspot. So,
wow, that's cool.
If there's going to be a Bigfoot sighting, Trees is going to take care of it. He has sent me some photographs of some humorous photographs about finding Bigfoot's stash. He found something in the woods, a motorbike or something. Something was stashed in the woods.
Yeah, there are things you can find some pretty bizarre things in the woods.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have gotten some of those photos from Trees, but no good Bigfoot ones yet. But I'm always hopeful. Trees, man on the ground, and yeah. So
Trees will get that photo of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Let's finish this video because it's like after 11 my time, and
yep, it's almost done here.
Okay.
And to prove me wrong, start flipping that quarter, and
all right, I'm going to do
shows
that.
the probability for a row.
What's the next one?
On the number up in the air, so that it lands a trillion probability of tossing that trillion-sided.
Oh, this is the trillion-sided.
Up in the air, so that it lands a.
Once again, this means nothing. Okay. It's improbable, but not impossible. And your idea here is impossible things. You haven't demonstrated these things are impossible.
Yeah, he's just trying to bedazzle people with BS so that they'll get that vibe of evolution couldn't happen. It's impossible. But he's.
And if they are off, please give him some slack, because I called him up on the spur of the moment. And he immediately ran the computations without much thought.
Oh, okay.
Okay, back to this first picture.
No, we're not going back. We're done with that. Okay. That was terrible. Thank you, Tilting Windmill. Look at the Trees channel. Yeah, Look at the Trees does a lot of outdoor stuff and associated things. Make sure you check out Look at the Trees. Great friend of the channel. Yeah, I'm putting in the hours, Ryan. Speaking of, my view hours were liked up to 7.3K view hours, which is really good for a small channel. Really appreciate everybody actually watching my stuff. I really do. And everybody stopping through the live streams and hanging out. Appreciate you as well. And don't forget, you can become a member of the channel and you get to see my videos before anybody else. The other day I put out a video. Members got to see it 24 hours first before anybody else. So you can do that, and you can join in on the emoji fun. So hit the join button if you care to, and if you can. And as well as hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, leave a comment below. All those things help out the channel, and it helps out other channels as well, and we really appreciate it. And that's why my little ticker down here says, not all heroes wear capes. Some of you just hit the like button and stuff, right? It's real easy. Just go down there, hit that like. It goes a long way, okay? What do we got here? Let's see. Of course, Tilting Windmill, great supporter of the channel. Appreciate you a lot, Tilting Windmill. Doing all that kind of great moderating and everything, too. Dropping those links, all that good stuff. Hey, thank you very much, Tilting Windmill. And you know what? Just for you.
We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast.
We love toast. And yeah, so that'll do it for tonight. Let me see. I'm gonna take this guy off the list because it's been on my list for too long, and I think why it bothered me was because of the Frank Turek thing.
Yeah, he definitely has
Move that out of there.
a love affair with Frank Turek.
These are the arguments Frank uses. He throws out the 10 to the power baloney. It means absolutely nothing. We've heard it a lot. I know we've talked about it before with Mike and Scott on his on Answers in Atheism. Don't forget Answers in Atheism. Subscribe over there as well. And we have Answers in Atheism on toast and as an emoji.
That's a great reason to join this channel.
That's right. You won't find that anywhere else. So if you want to join in the emoji fun as well as the member perks, yeah, we do have memberships available, and we appreciate all the great members. And get this protest thing, everything set done and over with. And I'm sure Kentucky Atheist will be happy to see it done and over with. I know it's been a lot of work. And yeah, all of us that are going to travel and everything and spend the day in the heat, put that behind us, and then we'll get back on track. I'll have a member stream coming up. I've already got the video for it. And yeah, I'm going to back into the Grassman because I say I've got some notes on those. And I just heard from Wes. Wes has booked me on Skeptic Haven for August 3rd. So make sure you subscribe over there. And I'm going to be on August 3rd. And people can call in. Hey, if you want to call in and just talk to me and say hi, here's your opportunity. Okay. I will be on August 3rd over there at Skeptic Haven. I think might be on with Neil, the 604 Atheist, I believe. And yeah,
I think they should feel free, and I don't want to speak for you, but if they want to call in just to say they love toast, I think that would be good.
Do that too, you know. Yeah, all calls are welcome. I even called into Skeptic Haven the other week. They had a little lull in between phone calls, so I called in and said hi to Neil and hey to Godless Engineer, who was going to be at the protest. And I said, hey, I understand you're going to be at the protest. And he said, yeah. And Neil was talking, he had done a voiceover of God for a video. And I said, hey, I've done a voiceover of God for a video. So I called in and I said, hey. And I said that. And I said, yeah, I'll, looking forward to seeing you, GE. And Neil said, hey, you know what? We've got a Bigfoot, because I mentioned the Bigfoot statue. Neil says they've got one up there by him. He's up in the Pacific Northwest, but up over in Canada, up in there, prime Bigfoot territory. Neil also invited me to go see the Bigfoot statue if I'm ever up in that area. So I told Neil, you'll be the first one I call, guaranteed, because I like hanging out with Neil. Neil, the 604 Atheist, does deconversion stories on Saturdays. I've been on there. A lot of YouTubers have been on there. Make sure you check that out too. I appreciate you, Tilting Windmill. I'm glad you have a good time here. I really do. And to everybody else that was here, Objective Ethics, appreciate all the conversation and the comments. Ryan says, the wife and I cooked dinner and watched a show, but Dave's no slacker. Thanks for stopping by, Ryan. I do hope everybody has a good time when they stop through. Have a few laughs, maybe learn something. Have some engaging chat while you're here. And I want to thank everybody for stopping through, as always. And I want to thank Scott and Mike for joining me. Mike had to drop out a little bit there. He's burning the candle at both ends.
By creationism.
Yeah, he's up all night worried about Sal.
Yeah, he lets people get to him sometimes.
Yeah, thank you, Tilting. And once again, there's Skeptic Haven. That's Sunday evenings they do that. So it's a Sunday, August 3rd. And yeah, and Godless Engineer is going to be at the protest along with KC, his better half, and so many other great folks. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And the next time you hear from me will probably be from Kentucky. Unless, what is today? Wednesday? Yeah, I don't know if I'll be on again unless Mike gets a bug up as you know what. next time you hear from, far as I know, will be from Kentucky. So I hope to, like I say, do something live, something, whatever. If not, you'll hear about it when I get back, and I'll do a stream about it. Well, it probably will either way. I'll probably still talk about it. And I'm hoping also to maybe get somebody else to come on and say hi, and trying to get a bunch of selfies with everybody and all that good stuff. So look for all that coming. And for everybody that's going, I'll see you in Kentucky in a few days. Thanks, Scott, for hanging out with me.
Well, I really enjoyed this evening, Dave. It was a good discussion.
Always a pleasure hanging out with you, Scott. And we might be back tomorrow if Simos is on. Almost forgot. If Simos has State of the Onion tomorrow, I might be on one more time this week. I haven't heard from him. We'll see. But yeah, Simos Funk does State of the Onion Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, and often you'll find me there, and sometimes you'll find Scott and Mike over there too, as well as a great panel of folks. Simos brings in a really great panel, great discussions over there, a lot of different viewpoints, and so yeah, maybe one more time. So yeah, don't forget Simos Funk on Thursdays. And with that, have a good evening, have a good day, have a good morning, wherever you're at. And just for fun, I'm going to play this one more time. And watch your ears.
See here, dead fly. Dead fly. Millions and billions of years ago, in a galaxy far, far away, nothing exploded. Dead fly. You call me crazy. Man of thy destruction. Wait a minute, am I reading the right thing? And you know what, atheist? Right. And you know what, atheist? Right. And you know what, atheist? Right. Oh, you atheist. Especially that one desktop idiot. Self-theist, man of thy destruction. Wait a minute, am I reading the right thing? On you. That's what I say. Hey, have a great time. Hey, there are answers in atheism or atheist, whatever you were. Oh, you atheist. Especially that one desktop idiot. And you know what? They're atheists. You're right. Unless the Lord Jesus Christ saves you, you are going to go to hell and burn forever. That's going to be it for this little video.
All right. It's funny every time. And I am that desktop idiot. And I wish you all the best, and I will see you soon. Good night, everybody.
Under the moon where shadows play, a channel lights the calm relay. Stories unfold in the softest sound. In the night watch, we're tightly bound. A cozy vibe whispers through the stream, like drifting slow inside a dream. Conversations linger late and free. The night watch is the place to be. Hang out here beneath the glow, where time moves gently, hearts all flow. Secrets shared in a soothing tone. The night watch feels like home. A laugh, a thought, a quiet tale. The night breathes slow, we set our sail. Through every chat and every laugh, we weave a stream, a timeless path. Stay while the stars are bright, each word a spark that paints the night. Connection deep, it soars and sings. In this space, the heart takes wings. Hang out here beneath the glow, where time moves gently, hearts all flow. Secrets shared in a soothing tone. The night watch feels like home. Hang out here beneath the glow, where time moves gently, hearts all flow. Secrets shared in a soothing tone. The night watch feels like home.